Hello everybody, good afternoon and welcome to the United Stand. It's Manchester United at home to Wolves in what is a huge game for Manchester United. We've got to win this tonight, today, this afternoon, whatever it is for you. We have got to win Manchester United, and some good news coming in relation to the team news that Raphael Varane is confirmed as a starter. We're sponsored by Sneak Energy Drinks. Get yours through the link in the description. I'll talk to you more about that in a minute. Sugar-free, low-calorie energy drinks. They also do caffeine-free drinks in a minute, which I will be trying. Get a starter pack as well. Links in the description, or scan the QR code. But we've got a bit of energy going into this game. See what I did there? Because Raphael Varane is apparently starting for Manchester United, which is great news. Really, really encouraging news. Very happy about it. I don't know. I think Anthony's starting as well. We've heard that. Marcus Rashford is in the squad as well. Will it mean Luke Shaw shifts to left back? Will it mean that Luke Shaw plays with Varane, which has worked well in the past? It'll be very, very interesting to see how that pans out. There are other games going on at the moment. Leeds are currently 1-1. Oh, no, they're not. It's 2-1. Shit. It was 1-1 between Leeds and Newcastle. Leeds were actually 1-0 up. I mean, to be honest with you, it's a difficult one for United fans because we would love to see Leeds go down, but a draw would probably help us with the top four. But I think Leeds relegated themselves the minute they gave Sam Allardyce the job, and that's what I've always said. Even though they scored first, I said I think that's a mistake. Joshua, welcome to the Members Club. Also, Gerald as well. Thank you very much for joining the Members Club, and we've got lots to talk about before the match actually starts as well. We will be talking about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's comments. That's going to be very interesting. He spoke about a snowflake society within the dressing room, even though some would say he created it or bought some of it. Also, basically saying it's time for the Glazers to go. There's some interesting stuff around the Glazers as well. Some quite disappointing stuff from journalists close to Manchester United, patronising online fans, basically saying that real fans want a gym, and online fans who've never been to games and are only interested in transfers want Qatar. I mean, this is from a journalist who writes about Manchester United quite a lot. He seems to have an obsession with calling people who don't agree with him online fans, and yet he doesn't understand that 99.9% of match-going fans are online. So I don't really get that. But it's a shame because, you know, it's a... I would never... Personally, you know, people say the United Stand is a divisive thing, and yet all fans are welcome. You know, I have huge respect for fans that wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning to watch Manchester United play, and yet because they might never go to a game, they're not a real fan, according to some. I think it's disgusting the way some people pontificate arrogantly, like they're better than other people. But let's go to the team news. The team is about... We'll talk about that in a bit anyway. That's one of the things I want to talk about in a little bit. But let's have a look at this Manchester United team news that's coming in. And the return of Raphael Varane is confirmed. Lindelof plays with Varane at the back, which means Luke Shaw shifts to left back. De Gea in goal. We've got Wan-Bissaka at right back. We've got Victor Lindelof and Raphael Varane at centre back, and Luke Shaw is at left back. Our midfield three is Bruno, Casemiro and Eriksen, and then our front three is Sancho, Anthony and Martial. Marcus Rashford is not in the matchday squad. There was talk that he would be in the matchday squad. He is not in the matchday squad. Now, look, what I would say about that is, and correct me if I'm wrong here, I'm going into the Goldbridge archives here. I seem to recall that's quite similar to the team that started against Sevilla in the home leg, where we played fantastically well for about half an hour. Varane got injured and the season fell off a cliff, and Martinez got injured in the second half. So Sancho, Anthony and Martial did work quite well for about half an hour, and it could work again. Oh no, Martial's not starting. Oh, Manchester United have made a right screw up here. They've got Martial on the bench and they've got Martial in the starting lineup. Sack the Man United editor. He's absolutely made a cock up there. Maybe Rashford is on the bench. I don't know. Jinxbridge, Newcastle take the lead, says Mohammed. Love the content, says Joshua. Thank you very much. I don't know what's going on here, because United have actually messed up. They've put Martial in the starting lineup and they've put him on the bench as well. The bench is Butland, Delo, Maguire, Malacia, Fred, Pellistri, Garnacho, Martial, Weghorst. 1 minute. Let me just have a look what they've put here. Okay, so the subs, Alanga's on the bench. I just wondered if they've made a mistake with Rashford. So the subs are Maguire, Malacia, Fred, Delo, Weghorst, Pellistri, Butland, Alanga, and Garnacho. So Alanga's on the bench with Weghorst and Garnacho and Pellistri as the attacking options. Martial is starting, but there's no place for Marcus Rashford at all. He's not in the squad today. So there we go. Martial is definitely starting though, but if you look at Twitter and you look at Manchester United's graphic, they've got Martial starting and Martial on the bench as well. Just shows you even the biggest brands can make mistakes. These things happen. Give us your thoughts on the team. Tickets can be expensive. It's not always easy to get to games. Doesn't mean I don't support United. I'm hoping for a good result today, says Emily. Well, we'll get into that in a minute. Actually, I think it's quite an important thing that when a journalist basically calls out non-match going fans as not relevant, I think it's a disgrace, and it just keeps happening all the time. So we will call that out, because I personally think that a football fan that lives in Manchester and has a season ticket, are they better than a football fan who lives in India and gets up at 3 o'clock in the morning when they've got work at 7 o'clock in the morning every Man United game? Nobody's better than either there. There is no argument about who's better. It's about location. It's about wealth. It's not about who's the better fan. It's a disgrace. But also I think that there's an interesting angle in relation to the sale as well, where the Glazers have divided the fan base again, in my opinion. But we'll talk about that in a little bit. Good morning. I've woke up hungover, but let's get a win, says J. Dot. I hope you're doing well, mate. Absolutely thrilled for Lindelof. Gets the run of games he earned with his performance. Would have been criminal if he was dropped, says Nikhil. Well, it is interesting seeing Lindelof and Varane back playing together. And, to be honest, it's a kick in the nuts for... we're going to come back to Sneak in a minute, because I'm going to actually get my drink ready. But it's a kick in the nuts for... Harry Maguire, isn't it? Because it really does just show you what... there's the team, by the way. It really does show you how low down the list Harry Maguire is, because he could have kept Luke Shaw at left back and played Maguire and Lindelof, but he didn't do it. He played Luke Shaw with Lindelof. And now Varane's fit, he wants Luke Shaw back at left back, because he could have just played Luke Shaw and Varane and put Lindelof on the bench. So... I think that's quite interesting. I thought Luke Shaw would continue as the left-sided centre-back. I thought that was the best place to keep him. But the fact that Varane is back and he wants to put Luke Shaw back at left-back just shows you that he really didn't trust Maguire at all. I live in Sweden. How am I supposed to go to every match, says Reckon. And absolutely thrilled for Lindelof, says Nikhil. We've done that one. And thanks for your super chats. You can do that through the $ as always. Make sure you smash a like and subscribe. So that's the Manchester United lineup there. Just before I get into all of that, we are sponsored by Sneak Energy on the stream today. Sneak Energy is a low-calorie, sugar-free energy drink. You can order your starter pack through the link in the description, or browse all their products there as well. A starter pack, you get one of these and 9 different sachets to try, or you can go straight for your 40 serving tubs. Now this is brand new out. This is called Sneak Hydrate. They've got loads of other flavours with caffeine in, but their new Sneak Hydrate range doesn't have any caffeine in. Cherry Bomb you can get with caffeine or without. I'm going to use my Cherry Bomb. Now I've already tried this. You get 1 scoop in your water, get rid of that, put 1 scoop in your water. Where's my lid? An energy drink there, no sugar, low calorie, and now if you get the Sneak Hydrate, there's no caffeine in it either. You give it a shake just like that, and beautiful. Cherry Bomb, that is my favourite. I absolutely love it, and it's red for Manchester United. So if you want to get your starter pack where you can try lots of different flavours, do it through the link in the description, or scan the QR code like I say, or you can just go through the link in the description and get it delivered to your door. Sugar-free, low-calorie, and if you want to try Sneak Hydrate, they've also got, I think they've got 3 flavours that you can try without caffeine in it. But lovely flavours. You've got Purple Storm, which is very familiar. You've got Blue Raspberry, Tropicola, Cherry Bomb. There's loads of flavours to try. Check Sneak out. Right, I need a bit more of that. It was lovely. cherry bomb. I need a bit of energy anyway. I've been running around. Apparently we might have a 2-2 with Leeds. Leeds have scored 2-2. Draw would be a good result for us, you know. Welcome to the Members Club, Oliver Hunt. In fact, more than welcome to the Members Club, Oliver. He's actually gifted 5 memberships. You are a legend. Thank you, Oliver. And Daniel Derbyshire, thank you very much as well. Could we have a quick look at the Wolves team, please, Mark? Said somebody in the chat. Of course you can. And because you've asked nicely, there it is. That's the Wolves team for you. I think in relation to Wolves, there's a couple of things I would say about Wolves. As you can see, their lineup there, you've got Bentley in goal, Semedo, Dawson, Kilman, Gomez, Nunez, Neves, Lemina, Neto, Kuna and Costa. It's not a bad side in the sense that it's more than capable of getting a result. But you know what? I feel that... I feel like they're a tight team, as I said in the preview. They don't concede many goals, and they are a team that we traditionally don't score many goals against either. I think of Wolves, and I think of plenty of games where, you know, I remember that, was it just after Christmas? Maybe Solskjaer was in charge. We were 0-0, and Rashford scored virtually with the last kick of the game. It deflected in. They're always quite tight games. I think at their place, didn't Pogba do a foul that should have been a foul, but we scored straight after it. They're always tight games. And I tell you what, in a way, I'm not looking forward to that this afternoon, because I'm like, oh, we don't need the stress. We really don't need the stress. But we've just got to win. I think today is pivotal. I think if we don't win today, you're almost handing the initiative to Liverpool to get top 4. If we win today, we take back hold of it and we are favourites. Joseph says that Firpo has just done a similar challenge to Casemiro, but there was no red card there. Tumbleweed says has gifted 1 membership as well. Ali says, I haven't got much confidence in winning today. And Lennon, thank you very much. I can't believe how many people are happy that Leeds have made the comeback. I can't stand Leeds. I really do want to see them go down. Tired of takeover, just get it done soon. Love United Stand, says Harold. Lennon, thank you very much for your chat. And the veteran says that for 20 years, fans have cried for an end to the Glazers. Now many will happily look the other way simply because Sir Jim happens to be British. Yet it's the people who want the Qatari bid that are accused of being shameless, says the veteran trainer. Well, we're going to talk about that in a minute, because I think there's some disgusting stuff going on. And of course, there's unfortunately some racism going on as well in relation to it. You know, people can't communicate a reason why they don't want Qatar, so basically they just have to be racist about it, which is obviously very, very disappointing, but we know it goes on. It's a minority, of course. I think that we will talk about that in a minute, and the ongoing sale, but it's it is what it is. It's not about Leeds, Mark. It's taking away points from Newcastle, says Farid. Yeah, it is. And you never know, Leeds might get a late winner. Hard to be excited for the game knowing what's going on with the sale. This fan base is splitting more and more. People are really backing Sir Jim. Well, look, let's just, before we get into that, because I think there's some good conversation to be had there. Remember that this game is kicking off in 50 minutes, and it's a massive game for Manchester United, and it's a massive game that we need to win. So let me know what your thoughts are on the team. I think the Rashford injury was something that happened yesterday. We heard about it yesterday, and obviously it had a very big impact on preparations for this game. But I look at that front three, I look at Sancho, Antony, Martial, Bruno, and the one thing I would say is that, and it's not Rashford's fault, I would rather Rashford was fit than Martial and Antony at the moment. I think Rashford, just based on this season, is a match winner. But what I will say as a positive, we can't do anything about it. Rashford is injured. I look at the Brighton game and I look at the West Ham game, and the two things that resonate the most are the fact that we had a good first 20 minutes where we created chances and just shot from everywhere. I want to get that back into the mentality today. The last couple of games has been appalling with our front three shooting and Bruno shooting from ridiculous places. I mean, let's not forget the end of the West Ham game. Bruno's got the opportunity to put a cross in. He shoots from a ridiculous angle on his weak foot. One good thing about Sancho is he won't shoot from 30 yards. So straight away, it might be better for our front three that Sancho's in it. I mean, obviously you're hoping that Sancho has the good game, but he won't shoot from 30 yards. And Martial doesn't really. So 2 of the front 4, 50% of the front 4, aren't going to start shooting from all angles, are they? So that could be a positive. Stuart Walker's done a super chat. He says, it's hard to be excited for the game knowing what's going on with the sale. Fan base is splitting more and more. People are really backing Sir Jim now. We will talk about that. I just want to talk about the game for a couple of minutes. Love your work, Mark. 10:40 p.m. here, currently on holidays, watching from the beautiful Lichfield area in the Aussie outback. Stunning. Check it out, says Mitch. Sounds great. I just find it interesting how Lindelof has proven he is now ahead of Maguire, despite a few weeks ago we were talking about his fourth choice frustration. Well, for me, the Inquisition, Lindelof played really well in January as well. Lindelof's always been better than Maguire this season, so I'm glad that he's got back ahead of him because he did seem to have dropped behind him for a little bit. Hi Mark, I live in Manchester and used to go to all the home games when I could afford it. I'm proud that our club is a global club and all fans are equal, says Neil. Darren's been a member for 14 months. Hi Mark, did you think about the age of Sir Jim? It could be the same as the Glazers, even worse because his firm would take over, says Maid. A lot of people wanting to talk about the ownership. Lindelof will play left centre-back, not right, says Alan Kenny. And have Qatar put another bed in? I saw somebody... No, they haven't, LMS. That's just people trying to wind people up. It's still 2-2 between Leeds and Newcastle with 5 minutes to go. Both those teams need to win it, so don't rule out a late winner. Thank you for all the positivity in such unargumentative time. Don't let these journalists spew their self-righteous nonsense, says Jaw. Thank you very much. Well, look... We've looked at the team news there. We'll have some quotes coming in from Ten Hag shortly. There is no Marcus Rashford, which is obviously very, very disappointing. But we are where we are with that. We've just got to go and win today. We can talk and talk and talk, but we have to go and win today. There are also some interesting quotes coming in from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer that we need to discuss. But first thing I wanted to talk about. This was just to catch up on the sale process, and ultimately there's not really anything to add other than it feels like Sir Jim is out in front at the moment with this offer to take half of the club. He would be in charge, but he would own half of the club. Joel and Avram would stay, and so would 30% of the stock exchange. So that looks like where we are at the moment. I was at the London Stadium and saw an abject Man United performance, and I'm hoping for better today, says Karan. Thank you very much. I'm really starting to fall out of love with United, says Sean. This whole ownership circus is killing me. Do you think it's affecting performances? No, I don't think players are impacted by this sort of thing, to be honest. And thank you, Sean. And Gal says, I can't get Bruno's performance against Everton out of my mind. His long passes were Scholes-esque. Perhaps playing deeper is better for him, and we get a new attacking midfielder. And Glazers playing both buyers want bigger stake and voting power with Radcliffe, or make Jazim bid higher to get the club. We need Qatar, says Rajan. Well, look, I think one of the things that frustrated me the most is that we are starting to see division in the fan base, and I think this is really, really sad because this is the Glazers winning. And it amazes me that people don't see it. They start falling out with each other, which is the last thing I wanted, and I think many of us wanted. But ultimately, it's the Glazers that have divided us. The message from the protests and the message from most people is still full sale. But what's starting to happen is people are starting to go, well, it's not a full sale, it's the Glazers out. And technically, Sir Jim does get the Glazers out. Well, no, there's no technicality about it. He doesn't get the Glazers out. He gets 4 of them out and he keeps 2 of them. That's not Glazers out and it's not full sale. But some of our fans are starting to buy that nonsense. And as I said, just deal with facts. No, don't deal with guessing. It's not Glazers out if 2 of them stay. And it's not a full sale if 2 of them stay. But people are trying to find the positivity in it because they probably wanted to Jim all along. I don't know. But it's not a full sale and it's not Glazers out. Yeah, but Jim will still be the majority owner. He will. I would concede that at 50%. You would expect him to be the majority owner, yes, but the Glazers are still there. Yeah, but eventually they'll go, yeah, but you're a hypocrite because you've been chanting Glazers out full sale for the last 10 years like everybody else, and now now you're just going to follow somebody because they were born in Manchester. You know, there's you know absolutely nothing about this deal. Absolutely nothing about this deal. And then you get journalists, Manchester United journalists, saying this: primarily online fans who are shallow want Qatar. They're only interested in transfers. They don't put as much money into the club as match-going fans, and they don't go to the game. They don't go to the games. And it's online fans who want Qatar, who are shallow. That's coming from a journalist. That is coming from a journalist who reports on Manchester United. So if you want Qatar, you are primarily an fan who is shallow and is only interested in transfers, and you don't go to games. And that's from a journalist who writes about Manchester United. Disgusting. Disgustingly divisive, disgustingly arrogant, and disgustingly naive. Because I don't understand this fascination with fans and online fans. Adam goes to every single game. Beth goes to all the home games. They're always on Twitter. I know loads and loads of season ticket holders who go to games home and away who are always on Twitter. So what's a fucking fan and what's an online fan? It's just divisive. It's just weird. Why can't that particular journalist just say, I don't want Qatar, I want Sir Jim, but I respect that other people have different opinions? It's this small-minded arrogance that these people have, that they think that they shit gold. They think their shit smells of perfume, and they think that everybody else is wrong. And these are the dangerous people, because they will not accept that their opinion is not definitive and that other people have opinions, and that's what makes democracy and free speech. If you want an opinion, you have to accept that someone else has an opinion. If you want your opinion to be listened to, you have to accept that a different opinion also has to be listened to as well. You might think you're right, but you still have to accept that your opinion might not be right. And then the second thing is, these people are so naive that they don't actually see that the Glazers have won again and divided us, because ultimately what's going to happen now is you're going to get a set of fans that are very frustrated that we didn't get a full sale and the Glazers didn't go, and then you're going to get a set of fans who just want to back Sir Jim, and people are going to be very passionate about each. But ultimately, why has it happened? Because the Glazers have done a deal with Sir Jim, and Sir Jim has done a deal with them, and the Glazers stay. So what I don't want to see is fans arguing with each other, when ultimately, who's instigated and caused this? It's the Glazers. The Glazers have played a game. Oh, we're up for sale, we're up for sale. We're not really. I really worry for United under Sir Jim. Sir Stuart, and will UEFA still apply if Sir Jim owns 50% of the club? Since he owns Nice. I think you're clutching at straws there, Dylan. You're clutching at straws. Red card for Leeds. There's been a red card for Leeds. It's 2-2 into stoppage time. Bamford missed the penalty, but he didn't get sent off for that. Firpo has been sent off. He should have been sent off for his first yellow card. He has been sent off for his second yellow card. Apparently his first yellow card was very similar to Casemiro's red against Southampton, but he has now been sent off, and it's 2-2 there. Interesting times. Get your comments in. Lots to talk about, but I find it disappointing. I find it really disappointing because, you know, actually the intellectual football fan is able to see both sides, whether you agree or not, and the non-divisive football fan is also eager for the fan base to be united because we're stronger together. But what really I think exposes an idiot is somebody who starts attacking people who want Qatar. Because I'm tired of saying this. It's not about Qatar and Al Thani. That's the only person who wants to buy the club and remove the Glazers. And you're now being cast as a villain if you want Qatar to buy the club. But 99% of Man United fans who want Qatar to buy the club, it's not because it's Al Thani and the Middle East and wealth from there. It's because he represents a full sale in the removal of the Glazers. The most noble stance is full sale and Glazers out. And the only one who is offering that is Al Thani. But now you are being cast as a villain by these uneducated journalists, certain ex-players and now some Man United fans, you are being ridiculed and outed as a shallow idiot because you want Qatar to take over the club rather than Sir Jim and the Glazers. And yet the hypocrisy in that is absolutely outstanding, because Al Thani and Qatar actually represent what this fan base has wanted for the last 17 years, a full sale and the Glazers out. But now you're being ridiculed for wanting the one person who represents that. You are now being ridiculed as an E fan who is shallow and is only interested in transfers. I find that incredible. Absolutely incredible. It's not 3-2 to Newcastle. Don't worry, I've got notifications on. If there is to be a goal, I will have it for you. And it's 2-2 at the moment. But yeah, just hold that thought. When you're being ridiculed because you want Al Thani or Qatar, just remember these people who are ridiculing you have actually shown themselves to be hypocrites, because everybody wanted a full sale and everyone wanted the Glazers out, and there's only one offer that represents that. So you've just got to be courageous in your conviction here. That's all you've got to do. Now, so that doesn't mean that people who want Sir Jim are an enemy of the club. They might think that Sir Jim is going to get rid of the Glazers at some point in the future, but that's guesswork, and maybe they'll be right, and respect them for that, because that's their opinion. But what I don't like is how people are being ridiculed because they want the one person who will actually, do a full sale. Jim isn't a takeover, it's going into business with our current owners. That's the issue. We want a fresh start, and that just happens to be Qatar. The media actually need to listen to the fans, says Sean Turner. And I thought you couldn't buy a club on personal or other debt. Didn't Premier League put a rule in place, says Daniel. And hi Mark, I'd love to go to more games if I could. I live in Portsmouth, but supported United 30 years. I just want a full sale of the club. I don't care who it is as long as the Glazers are gone, says Rob. I live in southern Texas, woke up at 6 a.m. for Rooney and Ronaldo, going to my first game this summer. Fans come from everywhere, says Ramiro. Thank you very much for your super chat there, Ramiro. Still not full time between Leeds and Newcastle, by the way. Look, my big passionate point here is that, and I've always done this, so I'm not. It's not like read Declinity United tweet. I don't know what he's saying. Right, can you just copy it in, Stuart Walker? Because I don't really have time on a match day to start going searching stuff out. The veteran trainer says, it's been a dream of mine since I was a little boy to travel from the US and see United at Old Trafford, but I feel so unwelcome now. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Do it. I've been to Old Trafford loads of times, and I've seen loads of times people who are there for their first time. It's a very welcoming ground. It's a very welcoming fan base. Don't not go to Old Trafford. Trust me, there's loads of people at every home game who are there for the first time. So definitely do it. Salim, welcome to the Members Club. It's the same as saying you're not a real journalist because you do your work online instead of producing a real newspaper. It's just silly journalism, says B. Yakov. I'm going to come back to Nick James in a minute, but let me just say this. It's still going on. It's still 2-2 between Leeds and Newcastle. 7 minutes of added time. I just wanted to say this. Look, as I said, there was this line about only online e-fans want Qatar because they're shallow and they like transfers, and those people don't put money into the club like match-going fans. It's just that sort of vocabulary is disgusting. And as I say, we've been doing this for many years now, so it's not like I've just thought this is a good bit of PR. From day one to today, we've always said Man United is for everybody. Everybody is welcome. Doesn't matter where you live. You're a Man United fan, and we've always been about that, and we always will be about that. So when I hear or see people being divisive in that way, slagging off people who live in different areas of the world, then I think that's a disgrace. But that's the sort of disgraceful people you have out there who are so up their own arse and want to be right. They think they write about freedom of speech. They're very lucky to have freedom of speech because they don't know how to use it, because they're so locked in on their own opinion that they can't listen to others and welcome others as well. I want Sir Jim is because of a quote from 2019 about the way the club was run. He believes the club is built on hard work and values. It sounds naive, but I don't want the cheat code, says Nick James. And can I give you a Sir Jim quote from last September then, Nick? If we're talking about Sir Jim Radcliffe quotes and how great they are, what about September? Joel and Avram are wonderful people. You know, I can see and understand both sides, so thank you for calling me intellectual. What I can't understand is throwing insults to the other side. Why be cruel, says LJ. Exactly. 2-2, it's finished between Leeds and Newcastle. Probably a very good result for Leeds. That maybe not enough. They are still in the bottom three, I think. Yep, they're still in the bottom three, even with the point. But Newcastle have now played a game more than us. And if we were to win today, we could go level with them. Our goal difference is nowhere near them. They've got plus 32. We've got plus 8. It's something we need to be careful of because our goal difference is terrible. Absolutely terrible. Liverpool's is plus 25 and Newcastle's is plus 32. Ours is plus 8. But a win today for us does put us level with Newcastle. Newcastle now do need to be a little bit careful. They've got Brighton at home, Leicester at home and Chelsea away. Remember, the magic points is 72. If Liverpool win all of their games, they can get to 71. So 72. Newcastle have got Brighton at home, Leicester at home, and Chelsea away. They might have made it a bit difficult for themselves. They might have. Let's wait and see. Some super chats coming in here. Thank you for that. You can do that through the $sign. Mark, what are your thoughts on Ollie at Old Trafford? Sorry if I've already said it, says Stephen. No, we'll talk about Ollie at Old Trafford. Very, very right. What's stopping Jim backtracking in the future on the Glazers leaving? It's absolutely disgusting that the club will be ruined more than it already is, says Peter. Yeah, well, this is what I mean. I heard a journalist saying, well, it's very obvious that Sir Jim's going to get rid of Joel and Avram at some point in the future. Oh, is it? Have you read the contract? Or are you just talking out of your arse? As a journalist, if you're purposely trying to divide the fan base, you're anti-United, says Jaws. Yeah, but it's not journalism, is it? It's self-righteous. Ken, welcome to the Members Club. And how can the media target Qatar when European countries have colonised and destroyed for centuries? Please visit Africa, guys, and see what's been done, says Gummy. Thank you very much. So, yes, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is at the game today. We'll talk about that next. But don't forget, as a reminder, very, very excited to say that Sneak Energy are sponsoring our stream today. Get your starter pack through the link in the description or scan the QR code. You don't need to put Sneakbridge in anymore. You can just go through the link. So you don't even have to remember that. Just go to the website, order what you want, and away you go. Sneak Energy is low calorie, it's sugar free. You can get one of these and 9 different sachets as part of your starter pack, or you can go straight for your 40 serving tubs delivered to your door. That is Sneak Hydrate, which they've got 3 flavours now that don't have any caffeine in it at all, and it's still an energy drink, or you can go for the standard normal ones. I'm on the Cherry Bomb today. Fantastic. And it's beautiful. Right, check that out. Thank you very much to Sneak. I don't know what's going on there. There we go. Let's come back to the chat. Let's get the stats carousel going round as well, so you can see the team news as it goes round. There we go. Okay, that's the table as it stands, as you can see. Glazers suck the red out of Manchester, says Bjorn. Thank you very much. We read that from Sean as well. Just want to make sure I've caught up with them. Good morning from Birmingham, Alabama. Mark, what is your honest assessment of today's match? Says Outdoor Adventure. Marine lateral snakes. My honest assessment of today's match is that we need to win it. I don't think there's really anything else to say, is there? We just have to win the game. I think we'd all like to be comfortably 2 or 3-0 up with 20 minutes to go. I just hope I hope it goes that way, because we will 100% need to win. It doesn't really matter how we win. 3 points at the end. It's not quite a title race, but this is what it's like in a title race. If you remember, it's not really about how many you score. It's about 3 points. That's what we need to do. Mark, will you be enjoying a pint while the game is going on? Not today, J. Dot. And no such thing as E-fans and match-going fans. The Man United family is worldwide. Love to all our fans and yourself, Mark, during these stressful times, says Zach. Thank you very much for your super chats. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner to do that. So, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will be at the game today. He's sort of come back, hasn't he? 1 minute. He's come back, Ollie. I think his NDA must have run out 18 months, as Joshua Bowwater said on Twitter yesterday, and absolutely fine. He's signed Kim Min-jae, Casido, and Hoyland, 150 million. It's realistic, says Nick James. Yeah, so Joshua Bowwater was saying on Twitter earlier, and I saw it, he's absolutely spot on. Ollie's NDA must have run out. So what's an NDA? It's a non-disclosure order. Obviously, this happened with Mourinho, it happened with Van Gaal, and it will have happened with Solskjaer. When Man United sack a manager, you're being sacked, but there has to be a severance package. There'll be a load of money paid to you, and as part of that, you can't say anything negative about the club for a certain period of time. Solskjaer's was obviously 18 months because he's now saying stuff about Manchester United. He was actually in Manchester last night doing a bit of a show for people, which some of you may well have attended. Basically what Solskjaer had to say was some quite interesting stuff. Most interesting of all was his, he was always a very vocal supporter of the Glazers. Remember when those fans broke into Carrington and he was telling them that the Glazers are good people? But this is what he had to say in relation to the actual Glazers being at Manchester United. And he said this, if I can just find it. There's some quotes I just wanted to go through, but I just want to make sure I got the right one. On the Glazers and whether the takeover what needs to happen with it. He says it needs to be done. Old Trafford is neglected. The training ground has been neglected. We need to catch up with the other teams. So Solskjaer basically saying that the takeover needs to happen. And yet, in his time at Man United, he was always very positive about them. Asked about Sir Jim Radcliffe, he said, I'm not sure he can get the whole lot. I think he wants only 51%. It's a difficult one. He says, I feel very, very privileged and honoured to have been the manager, but there was probably never a worse time to be the manager of Manchester United. Look, my feelings on Solskjaer are that you get, time. I think if you asked... if you asked the fan what was Goldbridge's thoughts about Ollie, they'd probably think in their head that I was a very vocal reason why people turned against Solskjaer. Unfortunately, there's not a lot you can do about that. It's just lies and bullshit, isn't it? But the reality is, if you watch the channel, I was Solskjaer out very late. Same with Mourinho. I didn't jump on the Ollie out and Jose out thing until very late. I was vocal about it in the end, 100%, but I wasn't Ollie out as soon as I should have been, really. I think a lot of people who are watchers of the channel were probably ahead of the game when it came to Ollie. I was like, I wanted to give him a chance. I wanted him to succeed because I loved the guy as a legend of the player, of the club. But I was ferociously Ollie out at the end. Of course I was, because it just didn't work. It wasn't working at all. So, I think... I can't lie about that. But Daniel, thank you very much for joining the members club. Would you consider having an expert on post-sale to explain the full fallout, says Andrew? I don't think we'll need an expert on, mate, because we'll either get given the information or we won't. Do you suspect there's any truth to the stories of another imperative bid by Sheikh Jazim, says James? I don't know, mate. It's just guesswork, isn't it? I don't know. I've just tuned in. Did I miss your thoughts on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer offering Haaland to you guys? Love the show. We're just working through it now, Giant. And lovely to see Ollie again. That's it. See you again sometime. Heroic player, crap manager, says Nick P. And Mark, fans are now fighting each other. The Glazers cash in as they always knew they would. Thanks to Jim, says Roman. Yeah, well, look, the fans are fighting each other. It's really sad. Fans are fighting each other. You've got the pro-Sir Jim people, the pro-Qatar people, and they're arguing amongst each other. But unfortunately, no one's got the brain cell between them to realise who's causing the division. It's the Glazers. They could have sold the club and left, and then we wouldn't even be talking about this. But they want to stay. So people are like, Qatar don't want it. Sir Jim don't want it. Why are we arguing? Because the Glazers have played us all, and they're here dividing us again. I'm not having this. People can start moaning about me again. They can moan about you. They can moan about this. They can moan about that. But ultimately, who's causing the division? It's the same people who've been causing the division for the last 10 years. Ahmed saying to happy birthday to his bro. Happy birthday to your brother Yaya. Also, can we talk about how injury prone Sabitzer is? Oh yeah, Sabitzer's not on the bench. Great point. Oh, I didn't even realise that. Is Garnacho on the bench today? Akash, I think he is. On a serious note, do you think Varane will have an instant comeback or take time to get back to form? I hope so, Akash. Just joined, excited to see Sancho and Martial playing together. I think they complement each other really well, says Bradley. But yeah, Solskjaer's back at the game today. And obviously, he's had a few things to say. He said that he offered United for Haaland for 4 million. Look, Solskjaer remains a legend of this club for what he did in a shirt for the club. If you deliver and put the effort in for the badge on the front, then people will remember the name on the back. That's the way it should be. But as a manager, he was very poor. Nice guy, terrible manager. Some people just don't want to be negative. It's not negative, it's realistic. That's what it is. He's a terrible coach. That's why no one else wants him. He was a fantastic striker. That's why he played for Manchester United. I think it's interesting to listen to the things he's got to say, but there's no sympathy vote from any of us. He was a terrible coach. It went wrong. He can say it was a bad time to manage Manchester United. I don't think there would be a good time for a manager of that quality. I just don't think he's anywhere near good enough. Some of the stuff that came out was terrible. And, I think it's nice that he's back talking again because he's been quiet for 18 months. But, it's... I think that's where we are. If Jim gets hold of us, I'm going into the woods and letting the moose just have it. I'll get to see my Honda again, says Rob. Thank you very much, Rob. Thanks for your super chat. If you know, you know. Newcastle have dropped points. You're right, Office Ricky. Yeah. Let's go United, says Jamal. And Mark. I just got asked the question there. You talk out of your arse at times, says Stuart. Thank you, Stuart. You are a prat. Because you're the definition of a prat. In fact, you're the definition of an idiot. Because you can't just throw abuse at somebody and then not tell them what, You're a scared prat. You're a scaredy prat. Because you've basically just said I talk out my arse, but you haven't told me about what. Because you're scared that if you tell me why I'm talking out my arse, I'll come back at you and you haven't got anything to say. So I'll give you your moment in the sun. Stuart thinks I talk out my arse. But Stuart's also terrified of telling me why, because he knows he's just got to throw abuse. Because if he actually tells us what his childlike opinion is, it will get ridiculed. So, if you're going to gob off at somebody, it's basically just like walking up to somebody in the street and punching them, isn't it? It's just abusive violence. It doesn't mean anything because you can't hold a conversation. You probably want the Glazers to stay, don't you? Sorry if you've covered it, but did you see Ollie called the squad snowflakes as Connor? Yes, I did. So basically, Solskjaer said that the modern player wouldn't have survived in the dressing room when he was there. You had people like Roy Keane in there. There was lots of fights and stuff because people wanted to win. So there was lots of arguments and fights. But the modern player would tell their dad, get their agent involved. They wouldn't survive in that dressing room. Well, if I'm being completely honest, what relevance is that statement from Solskjaer? You managed the club for 3 years. Is that your excuse? Is that your excuse? The modern player is a snowflake and that's why you failed. Well, how is Pep Guardiola succeeding? How has Klopp succeeded? How has Arteta over-exceeded? How does Thomas Frank, De Zerbi? I find those sort of comments to be cheerleader comments from people who just really aren't good enough to coach anymore, because you can believe it because we know some of these players have weak mentalities, and you can concede that Solskjaer makes a good point. But on the other hand, there are other managers that seem to do very well in this modern world. So I just think those sort of cheerleading comments don't really do anything for us, because it's just an easy get out, isn't it? We fail because the players are wrapped in cotton wool and treated like princes, and kings. But ultimately, and I have said it myself, and I know it's true, but I'm not manager of Manchester United. I don't think that a manager should be coming out saying that the players are snowflakes and, they need to kick up the arse, because he bought a lot of them. He managed that dressing room. So, we all know that's a problem, but we've all known it's a problem for a while, and why wasn't something done about it? Any plans for a United stand show in France, says Deepak. I didn't know we had any fans in France, to be honest. Rashford's injured, mate. And Sabitza's injured as well. I mean, this is really disappointing. So, going back to the starting lineup, which is going to be coming round on your screen in a minute, the bench is particularly concerning in the sense that there is no Rashford. But there also is no Sabitzer, which is weird because, you know, I know Beth did that video this week. Maybe some of you watched it, where she was saying that we shouldn't be signing him. She's probably ahead of the game a little bit there because he has been injured probably 3 or 4 times now, and he's on loan. I think there's a warning sign there, isn't there? Ten Hag has confirmed that he's not in the match day squad due to injury. He's also said that Rashford's unavailable, so he's concentrating on this team. We have to deal with the available players that we have. We know he's scored a lot of goals and he's having a great season, but today he's not available. We have a squad and others need to score. On Varane, he said Varane knows how to win. He can help us and guide us to victory. He's proven that many times, not only here, but also for his country, for Real Madrid. He knows how to win and win trophies, and we are happy to have him back. He says there's no easy games. We're aware of it. We have to give everything, and we have to deliver. It is a massive game for United, and we definitely do have to deliver. There ain't no way. There is nothing about that. Yeah, I'm not getting involved in these rumours that there's going to be a big bid. Have you seen this? Jude Bellingham did not want to go to a plastic club like Man City. Apparently that's actually coming from a Manchester City Twitter account via Fabrizio Romano and Patrick Berger. Jude Bellingham did not want to go to a plastic club like Man City. Well, look, whether it's true or not, you know, I don't know, but got to respect it a little bit, haven't you? Got to respect it a little bit. It's a lovely day in Manchester, by the way. Lovely sunny day. I'm just looking at some of the pictures there. Fantastic. 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 Okay, let me just come back to the chat. There we go. Ollie's being a hypocrite in my opinion, says Jack. Oh, let him retire. I think let's just let Solskjaer retire. He's, you know, he can do his after dinner speeches now, and what he probably should have done really, just live off what he did as a player, because that's what his legendary status is. How big of an impact do you think Ahmad will have next season, says Louis? I'm not really thinking about it, Louis, to be honest. I mean, it's exciting, but there's so much other more important things going on in relation to the sale. And today, we've got to win today. Hi, Mark. Any legit reports saying 11th hour bid from Sir Jazim? Because I've read some articles, says Nishank. I don't know. I mean, logically, you would hope it's going to happen, but I don't know. Go back to what I said last night. If Joel and Avram never wanted to sell the club, it won't matter how much is offered for a full sale if they never wanted to sell all of it anyway. Mohit says, one good thing we have seen from the other Ollie team is switching off front three, but his technical gameplay was bad, and Erik Ten Hag brings that technical parameter, but lack of energy in away games. Thank you, Mohit. Appreciate that. Also, I think Ollie says about Snowflake's all about United squad he managed in a very subtle and polite way, says Adil. Akshay, Varane's leadership at the back could be pivotal in our run-in for the top four, and I just hope he can stay fit. If a Wolves game at home with our current form doesn't smell like a scrappy 1-0 win, then I don't know what does, says Patrick. Mate, I would actually happily take a 1-0 win today. I'd happily take any victory today. I think we need it, and I think we deserve it. And I think that if we don't get it, then we're going to be in a lot of trouble. We don't want to put that pressure onto ourselves. We've got to go out there and win. I think Sir Jim Ratcliffe will buy 51% and never buy another 49% stakes. For me, that was always the plan. I have a depression from Sir Jim Ratcliffe and the Glazers, says Daniel. Hey, Mark, what do you think about Kim Min-jae's defender profile? Do you think he would complement the defenders we already have, says Dana? I think Kim Min-jae is an improvement on Harry Maguire. And I think he's an improvement on Lindelof. Let the battle commence with Varane if we sign him. I mean, that's how highly I rate Kim Min-jae. But I think now's the time to bring him in because you've still got Varane there. So you know, I would like it to happen. Noel says, I've just got mugged at the game and they took my pants. Yeah, we don't believe you, Noel. We don't believe you. Hamza says, Kim Min-jae is basically a Varane-type centre-back with no obvious weakness. Well, we're getting close to the start of the match. Newcastle have drawn at Leeds 2-2, so it gives us a bit of a chance. I'm buzzing for the game. Come on, United, says Lee Berman. Don't forget, tonight I am on TalkSport, 7:30 till 9 o'clock, the Mark Goldbridge show. You can call in, have your say. If you are going to call in, then call in with some opinions. I must admit, Newcastle fan Ben last week phoned in, got into an argument with me straight away. Shame he hadn't checked his facts, because he was basically saying that I'd said Newcastle won't get top four, which I hadn't. But I liked the passion. 7:30. It's on YouTube as well if you're not in the UK, or you can listen to it on the radio. TalkSport Mark Goldbridge show. Ben was hilarious, Taylor, and he did win Caller of the Week. It could be you this week, but we've got a lot of football to go before then. As I say, Newcastle have already dropped points. I'm going into this game expecting Manchester United to win. My score prediction is 2-0 to Manchester United. I'm hoping we can I think it's been a while since we've played at home, that some people might let their negativity slip in. And what I mean by that is, it has been a while since we played at home, and I think that, people forget just how good we are at home. We're a very, very good side at home, and we're more than capable of getting the result that we need. So I think the crowd has a big part to play, obviously, in this scenario. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it, but. It's not. I mean, I think Wolves are traditionally just quite a difficult side to break down. We're going to have to work hard for it, but we've just got to get 3 points. And if somebody offered me, and I know this is the most obvious statement in the world, but if somebody offered me a 4-4 draw, the best game the Premier League's ever had, the most entertaining, fantastic match you could ever watch, and you'd be proud to be part of it, a 4-4 draw. Or a 1-0 deflects off the referee's arse in the last minute, I'm taking that. I want the win. That's what I want. Glad we're at home this week. Our away record is shambolic. Last 25 games, won 8, drew 3 and lost 14, says Dustin the Turkey. And I think the clues were there early on about Sir Jim when he was sucking up to the Glazers in interviews, says Steve. Yeah, 100%. Love you, Gray. Old bloke, says Ashton. Thank you very much. And... shot through the heart, and you're to blame. You give love a bad name. That's Macca. Macca started that. He just literally put those lyrics up there. And Avinash says, in your opinion, under Sir Jim, who do you think we'd buy? I know we don't yet have an idea on the budget, but considering we might have the same budget as last summer, I think we'll have about £200 million to spend, regardless of who has hold of us. I think even if the Glazers are in charge, we'll have £200 million to spend, because they'll just reservice the debt, won't they? So I think that I would be keeping an eye on Declan Rice, Harry Kane, those sort of signings, really. I think we'll definitely buy British because of the amount of British players we need to sell. Don't forget Sneak, sugar-free, low-calorie energy drinks. Links in the chat. Get yours delivered to your door. I'm on the cherry bomb today. But you can get a starter pack where you get one of these and 9 different sachets to try. And then you can go for your 40 serving tubs when you know which one you like. Or you can go straight for that. I would recommend Cherry Bomb. Hydrate. Lovely. Absolutely lovely. What the hell? Oh, I don't know what that was doing there. I think I just knocked my mouse. I'm at the game and I've just stolen some pants, says Louis. Well, apparently at the game today, they're trying out some Wi-Fi thing, aren't they? So we might have a few people who are at the game. We're going to get a load of people who are pretending they're at the game now. But if you are at the game, sing loud and proud. We need a win today. That's what we need. And get out of that garden, says Paul D. Before the game starts, can we just appreciate the last 2 Driving with Goldbridge episodes, says Josh. Absolutely gold, Mark, as usual. Keep them up. Yeah, well, there may be more Driving with Goldbridge. There may not be. I mean, ultimately, if people keep watching it, then I will keep doing it. Two in a week is difficult because, I'm basically writing, I'm running out of product. I'm running out of topics. Not sure Harry Kane is the answer, considering his age. Need to get a young and pressing striker. What do you feel, Mark, says Amet. I'm at the game. I'm sat on the roof nude, says Will. Thoughts about Big Sam draw versus Newcastle, says Faisal. And we need a Tannoy announcement at Old Trafford today, says Taylor. Mark, you could do watch-alongs at the game today. Now, yeah, you get booted out for that. They might give you Wi-Fi, but you're not allowed to film goals and stuff like that. You will lose your season ticket. Oren, there used to be in fact, I think that DT used to do it. He used to do like in the ground filming himself for all the goals and stuff. He got threatened with that as well. Oren, welcome to the members club. Somebody got kicked out of Wembley for that as well during the Euros. Mark, will it be raining during the game, says J. Dot. I don't know, mate. I don't know what the Manchester weather forecast is. Mark, can we get an Ollie impression on his return to Old Trafford, says Ocean. Oh, no. People will just call me a hater then, and I do like Ollie. But, I'm really happy for Kadeki. I'm a bit concerned about Harry not starting. I would have always started Harry. But I'm hoping to get Harry's eye attention. In fact, I've asked Harry to come and sit next to me and we can play Tetris while we watch the game. Because he's got nothing to do. I can't understand why Harry's not playing. He's my star signing, £80 million. And he sat on the bench. It's crazy. Not at the game. I'm only into transfers, says John. If you know, you know. Ronnie Pickering, welcome to the members club. It's Ronnie Pickering. Mark, if we assume we won't be title contenders next season, what does a successful season look like next year to you? Who's assuming anything, Steve? It's not even the end of this season yet. We can't start doing that yet, I mean, as things stand now, it's not meant to be an accurate Solskjaer impression, by the way. I love Ollie, says Dowell, but just in case we lose today and then the camera pans to him with his post-loss smile, it might just send me over the edge. And how long do you give it until the Super League nonsense is brought back up, Mark? I really do worry about our future under Sir Jim. Well, mate, Mike, the fact that the Glazers want to stay, I'm happy to say this publicly. Why do Joel and Avram want to stay? And what would Joel and Avram massively involved in organising the Super League? I don't know why they want to stay. They could take their money and go. So if they want to stay, I think they want to stay because they think there's going to be something that can make them a lot of money. Well, the only thing there's 2 things I can see making Man United a lot of money in the next few years. Because funnily enough, winning the Premier League and the Champions League won't make us loads of money. The 2 things that will make us a lot of money are a Super League or getting hold of your own TV deals. Bring Kane in as a starter with Ahmad as a backup and get Rice in as well, says Baggy. I don't dislike Kane and Rice, it's just not what I would do. 5 minutes to kick off. Mark, please wish my twins Devon and Delcia a happy birthday, says Yuri. There you go. Happy birthday to anyone. To them. Sorry. Thank you for entertaining me during my low, says Hawkeye. Thank you very much, Hawkeye. Hope you're doing well. I've got an itchy eye. Whatever. Get my little pad ready. Go on, get under there. I want to be able to write some notes. Yeah, we're about ready to start here. Look, somebody said it before about Ahmad. I mean, he's a future thing to be excited about. We can't use him at the moment, and obviously there's a lot of things going on. There are other games going on today. Villa are playing Tottenham, Chelsea playing Forest, Crystal Palace are playing Bournemouth, and Southampton are playing Fulham. None of those games massively impact on us, to be honest. Spurs a little bit, but not massively. I'd clean up aisle 6 with my bare hands to get a full sale. Glazers out, says Jeff. If you know, you know. But looking forward to this. Need the win. Don't forget we'll do player ratings in the second half as well. It feels like a while since we've played. It certainly feels like a while since we played well. And it feels like a while since we played at Old Trafford. We need the home support today. We need a big win today. And I think it's a bit, I think, Beth gets a lot of shit about De Gea. She also gets a lot of praise about De Gea. She did a video this week. She said, I wanted to do this. She had this idea for a video, and it was called Don't Do It. And it was basically don't sign Sabitzer. And I thought, well, it's an interesting one. And she gave her reasons, and I think she might have been ahead of the game. I'm not saying that, she's got inside information on Sabitzer. God, no. But what I am saying is that probably right. Third or fourth injury in a 5-month loan. Is that somebody you want to be buying at Manchester United? I like Sabitzer, but we need fit people. If you want to be successful as a football club, you've got to be playing around 60 games a season. And if you're going to do that, then you've got to be beating the likes of your chats are getting through. Enjoy writing. Yeah, you've got to be able to play a lot of games. Bruno is a beast, but we've got to start having people fitter for longer, fitter, happier, more productive. Bruno is a robot, says DJ. Well, get your score predictions in the chat. What are your thoughts? AJ says Sabitz is a great option off the bench. Not if he's injured. sort of easy. Time for Sancho to step up, says Talia. Yeah, definitely agree with that. 100% agree with that. Let me just get into a situation here where we can put a timer up for you as well. Lots of 2-1s, lots of 2-0s. Some people are going with 1-0. I'd be very surprised if United were to win by... It'd be nice. I'll tell you what would be nice. It'd be nice to get a clean sheet today. I don't know why I keep saying tonight, but it would be nice to get a clean sheet today because we desperately need it. No Marcus Rashford on the bench, so we definitely don't want to be picking up any injury to... we don't picking up any injury to Martial. What's your ideal summer transfer, Mark? Says Oren, Osman, Kim Min-jae, De Jong. That would be it for me. I'd be very happy with that. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see how it pans out. Yeah. Look at Varane pumping up the team, says Bashir. Weghorst not needed next summer. We need a Kane and a centre midfielder, says M. Well, look, it's all about opinion. Bragg says 1-0 to Wolves and Man United to miss out on top four. And if you like taking the piss out of David De Gea, he's just had it in his own box and pinged an absolute brilliant pass to Eriksen out on the left wing. But Anthony's had a shot straight away from a stupid place. I mean, yeah. Why have I got capital letters on? Yeah, you'd think we might have looked at that. I like Sabitzer, but the club can't afford having Martial of the midfield. So Stephen. Yeah, so basically, Anthony, there you can picture this. You can be blind and picture this. Anthony, right-hand side, cuts in, loads of Wolves players in front of him. One of them's literally 2 metres in front of him. What does he do? Shoot. The shot's not even on. There's not even a shot you can take, and he still took the shot on. Nico, you can get a high, yes. But I expect Manchester United to have a lot of high possession today. Obviously, we've got the stats carousel going round. And I think we have got the stats in there yet. So I expect Manchester United stats today to be very, very high in relation to possession. Don't forget, you can get the OneFootball app through scanning the QR code in the top left-hand corner, or going through the link in the description. You've got we obviously have the team stats there, but they do the individual player stats as well, so you can look at pass succession, etc., from tackles on the individual. You do that on the OneFootball app. It's free to download on Apple and Android. Get all your latest breaking football news and takeover news as well. Check it out, OneFootball. Arthur says, if they continue to shoot from 30 yards, the manager must be telling them to do it. Yeah, wouldn't disagree with you, mate. What I would say about Anthony is I do really like him, and look at Jack Grealish. Jack Grealish's debut season at Man City wasn't the best, and then his second season has been divine. So, yeah. But look, I'm hoping to see a good United performance. They basically had a week off, and we definitely need to respond to that, don't we? Give me some sneak. Glazers are nice people. Never forget what Sir Jim said, says Utrecht. So Lindelof is playing as the left-sided centre-back today, yes. John Neville, I tell you what I can do. I will shout you out and block you, you cheeky, rude person. Enjoy your last chat. You're finished. Bye. You know why. Can't get excited about the game with this sale going on, says Steve Gallagher. Oh, I can. I definitely can. I don't want to be... I don't want to play Thursday night football. You know what? I actually long for the time when we don't play on a Sunday that often. I'm fed up of Thursday night football. Yeah. Fed up a bit. So yeah, definitely give it to me. Champions League football. I do worry about the. I'm massively worried about the sale, but I want top 4. That's what I want. Team should be fresh today. No excuses, as enjoy writing. Mark, is the treble still on? FA Cup, League Cup and Bangkok trophies this summer. Swivel on that. You see that? Swivel on it. Summer heat. Was there any protests today, says Harrison? No. I think that, they're very... They take a lot to organise. You're not just going to get one at every game. United struggling to keep hold of possession here, says Alan. I hope Varane can make this defence stable again, says Lost Cat. Well, that's a bit of a myth, isn't it? The defence isn't unstable anyway. I thought Lindelof and Luke Shaw played very well. And if you look at the 2 goals we conceded in the last 2 games, one was because of a handball in stoppage time, and the other was because of a De Gea mistake. So, defensively we've done quite well. Eriksen's just had a shot from miles out again. I just don't get how we as fans can notice that we shoot from stupid areas all the time and we're still doing it. Look, you know, maybe it's getting to the point where we are moaning at the wrong people. Maybe they are being told to do it. Craig's Gaming Corner, thank you very much. I mean, look, I didn't watch loads of Ajax. I saw quite a lot of Ajax over the Ten Hag era, but most of it would have been Champions League games. Did anybody watch enough of Ajax to know that Ten Hag told his attackers to shoot from outside the box all the time? I just hope Garnacho brings something different at 60 minutes, says Mario Franco. Thank you very much. One of these long shots will go in eventually, says someone. Shaw is so underrated in the attacking part of the game. We're struggling to score, so Eric has put him at full back. Smart from the boss, says Jared. We could do with, yeah, you're right. Corner to that. We could do with two Luke Shaws really. Aston Villa are leading, by the way. We need to change tactics from shoot on sight to work the ball into the box, says Joshua Bowater. We get in such good positions, but the final product is crap. 3-0 mark it down, says Cameron. Mate, I would love 3-0. Isn't the Bangkok Trophy a major trophy because Liverpool fans say the Community Shield is, says Summer Heat? Yeah, you're boring me already, mate. Oh, another chance, Anthony there. Can't hit the target. We can't hit the target. I mean, we've got all the shooting accuracy of a pissed up stormtrooper. We just can't. You got to be. I think you got to be scoring from here. It's a 2v2, and he could have slipped Martial in. He should have slipped Martial in 1-on-1. Why is he not passed? Why is he not passed there? I'm just going to call Anthony a pissed up stormtrooper from now on because his shooting's terrible. That is terrible. Why is Anthony not slipping in there? It's exactly. So many people saying, why didn't he pass? We should be 1-0 up. Mistake at the back by Wolves. 2v2. Martial makes the run. Should have laid it off. Goes for the shot. This is what I mean. I don't get the. I don't know why is Ten Hag not sorting this out? Like, they won't be selfish if you sub them off. If you don't start them, they won't be selfish. What? Why are we so selfish in the final third? I blame the Glazers, says Jal. It's ridiculous though, because if that's Man City, De Bruyne will pass it to Haaland. It's not an elitist thing. The best teams would pass. That's so frustrating because we should be 1-0 up. He makes the pass. Anthony Martial's dead centre. He can go either corner he wants, 1-on-1. Frustrating. I don't know what's going on here. There is a goal in the Prem, and it's gone to Aston Villa at home to Tottenham, and it's Jacob Ramsey who scored there. Doesn't massively impact on us now because we've got ourselves away from that. But I mean, yeah, it's a frustrating first 10 minutes here for Manchester United because it's the same old problem again. We've been in positions where we should be doing better. And people say let's buy a striker, but when they're not getting passed to, it's a problem. Thanks everyone who's tuning in, by the way. Make sure you subscribe, bottom right hand corner to do it. Hi Mark, thoughts on Subway and what do you order? I haven't had one in ages, Ruad. Haven't one in ages. We're only 200 subscribers away from 648,000, so please do subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner, get involved with the United Stand. We're live every night at 8 o'clock, every morning at 10 o'clock. Loads of news coming up with the transfer window opening and also the sale of United and these big games we've got left. Banj says it's been a very sloppy start from Manchester United. Somebody said, what does the shooting of a pissed-up stormtrooper mean? Well, if you've watched Star Wars, stormtroopers can't, you know, they're meant to be these like shit hot, you know, assassins. They couldn't hit the ocean from a boat, so a pissed one would be even more inaccurate. So when I say that Anthony's shooting's worse than a pissed up stormtrooper, that means it's really bad. Subway's a quality. I used to go for a steak and cheese. That's what I used to have years ago, but I haven't had one for ages. But we've been on top, but we should be 1-0 up. Anthony literally could have played Martial in 1-on-1. But we're coming forward here with Luke Shaw. Cross comes in, nearly on Martial's head, who was free. Mark, did you see saying how Ollie was a better manager than Mourinho and how his away record puts him up there with the elite? Says Rahul. He's an idiot. But he's always been an idiot. Rahul, thank you very much. The selfishness is getting really old. We all think Erik ten Hag is great, but that's one of the easiest things to sort out as a manager, says Blake. But you know what, as well, sometimes some managers are blind to people they love. Like, he loves Anthony. I like Anthony. I just want him to pass a bit more. Here he is into the box. There's a good pass to Wan-Bissaka. The cutback's good, but there's nobody in the box. Championship winner prediction, says Hamoud. Well, I'd like Borough to do it for Kadaki. Chelsea are losing at Stamford Bridge to Nottingham Forest. If Nottingham Forest win at Chelsea, that'll be a huge blow to Leicester and everyone else in the relegation battle. But then again, we saw Everton do it to Brighton on Monday, so it would not surprise you. But bloody hell, I mean, I know Lampard's crap, but if they were to lose at home to Nottingham Forest, I mean, the trouble is, these teams are playing for their futures now. Mark, what's your opinion on Leeds Newcastle, says Charlie? It's probably a good result for us, a draw. Leeds can still go down and Newcastle drop points. Let's set up a Man United anonymous to get the Glazers out. We could all disguise ourselves as Fred the Red. Power to the people, says Jonathan. Yeah, one good thing, says Kieran, is that Wolves don't take their chances either. I think Anthony will be a very good player. I agree with Stu. I just think... thanks for being a member, Stu, by the way. People with the badges, big shout out for them. Thank you very much for supporting the channel. You can become a member by clicking the join button. Stu's a member and he says he thinks there's a good player in Anthony. Yeah, I definitely do think there's a good player in Anthony. And, you know, he was a player I was very excited about his signing. But... tell you what, that Costa tackle's bad. Doesn't get anywhere near the ball. Studs are up. It's just some tackles, they just get brushed under the park. I mean, he got a yellow card, but some tackles do just get brushed under the carpet, don't they? I mean, I don't think it is a red, but you know, I never thought Casemiro's was. So you just sometimes think that he's on a yellow card anyway. But yeah, no, look, I do think Anthony will come good. I just don't like his selfishness at the moment. Hi Mark, frustrating start this is, says Fennec. Well, it is a bit frustrating because we should be 1-0 up. Anthony just needed to slip Martial through. It was an easy pass. My gran could have played that. Rest in peace. And he went for the shot instead. You want an early-ish goal in a game like this, though. You want an early-ish goal in this game because, you know, You don't want to be panicking in the last 20 minutes, but we have done that against Wolves before, a few times. Other games going on. It's 1-0 to Forest against Chelsea at Chelsea. It's 1-0 to Villa at home to Tottenham. 0-0 between Palace and Bournemouth. 0-0 between Southampton and Fulham. Bayern are 2-0 up against Schalke, if you're interested in that. I'm not. Rangers beat Celtic 3-0. Celtic have already won the league. Cheers for the 9 months of entertainment, says Proton, who's a member. Thank you very much. Why did he not pass, says Ethan? Because we've got a problem with our attack at the moment, that everybody just shoots on sight. They don't have the composure to look for the better pass. Dortmund are playing at 5:30, Kelly. Mönchengladbach. Mark, I think every game we get better on the ball and press more until we get battered and have to revert back to defensive football, says Joey. Look, Wolves are very frustrating. They're not a team that tends to get smashed. I know Brighton did them big time last week. And remember, that was the last time, I think that was the last time Wolves played. No, it can't have been. They won last week, didn't they? They beat Villa last week, 1-0. Only 1 assist in the league for Anthony Marks, says Enjoy Writing. Yeah, he's got to improve that. Lampard's trying to get Everton relegated, says Ian. Eriksen being good is a myth, says Alex. We massively missed Eriksen, and I just think he's not been right since he came back from injury, has he? Drew says, I love the channel, 4 months and counting. Why do you think Pellistri isn't getting more opportunity, says Drew. Hold on a minute, United are in the box here. No, they're not. I just don't think he fancies Pellistri, Ten Hag. I don't think he, for whatever reason, really thinks he's up to it. There are a bunch of Celtic players that I'd take for next season. They play such good football, says Jude. Our left flank is non-existent today, Mark, says Wackass. What's your opinion on no Rashford, says Red. He's a loss. I know people like to criticise Rashford and he can be frustrating, but he is a loss. Here's Martial. Nice little turn. Go on, Tony. Where's he going? Oh, he's fell over. Fucking hell. Favourite type of biscuits? I'm caramel digestive type of person, says Reflect. I try to avoid them, really, but because I eat too much. Garnacho should start. He's better than Sancho, says Darren. I'm sure he'll get his chance. Wolves are on the attack at the moment. Crossed into the box. Varane gets rid of it. Peno is the only way I see us scoring. I thought you said pedo. I was like, what? What happened to Rashford? He's injured, Gracie. Ronaldo also got frustrated when others don't pass, says Bob. Well, look, whoever we bring in the summer, we keep saying this, but I don't see where the chances are in that team at the moment because there's too much selfishness. So, we've got to learn to be more creative in the final third. It has to happen. Because as real life says, our number 9 doesn't get any service. And Wolves have picked it up on the right wing here. Well won by Varane. Really good win of a header there. Oh, this is just subpar there between Bruno and Anthony. Mark says only Bournemouth have been given fewer penalties than United this season. Score prediction, I've gone with a 2-0 win for United, but I do agree with those people who said that it could be a long afternoon if we don't score. But we've got to score first. I mean, that's the thing for me. Whenever we score, And we haven't scored in our last 2 Premier League games, remember. So that's a bit of a concern. But we've got to score first. We have to score first. Thanks, Fennec. I mean, Varane's just shot from 30 yards. It's ridiculous. I just do not understand. Can anyone give me a reason why we're always shooting from distance? I mean, a genuine reason. I just don't get it. It's just when your centre back's doing it from 30 yards as well. I mean, I don't understand the logic of it. You know, if I'm Varane there and I'm 30 yards out, the chances of me hitting the target as a centre back is probably 50-50. The chances of it going in, probably 5%. So if you've got a 5% chance of scoring and an 80% chance of keeping possession with a pass, you play the percentage game. Casemiro's fell off a cliff past couple of months. His passing's all over the place, says Alan. He has fell off the cliff, you're right. Because there's no forward pass on, they don't want to go back, says Nitin. There's always a pass on, though, when they're shooting. I disagree. There are always. Lindelof's a bit lucky he didn't get booked there. Bit of a silly tackle, but didn't get booked. Red Army says that Varane needs to be sold for that. Wolves on the attack here. Good block. Goes out for a throw-in from Bruno. Amy, thanks for the super chat. Hi Mark, great work on the Ben Foster channel lately. We're just curious what you think would be the repercussions of not getting top 4 in regards to the new ownership. Would it change their targets? Well, we don't know who the targets are, official Moxie, do we? So, I will be stretching a lot today because I love stretching, but also I was working out this morning and my back's really hurt. I say working out, I was basically just emptying the shed. So, yeah, the back's in a bad place, so it needs a little bit of stretching today. Yeah, I mean, Manchester United's summer transfer targets would probably have to change if we didn't make the Champions League, because you wouldn't be able to compete for the players that you wanted, but we don't know who the targets are, so... league table at the moment, Villa 57 winning. They're just fighting with Spurs and Brighton for European football, aren't they, really? Corner to Wolves here. Maybe it's a tactic to get Wolves to close us down and lose shape in the low block. Anthony should have passed those, says Abhishek. Still shocked Anthony didn't pass to Martial, says Ketil. Maybe, okay, we've done that one. We moved the ball so slow and boring to watch what has happened to us past couple of months, as Anthony Jerry. Well, free kick to Man United on the edge of the box here. Random says it's crap so far. But you know what? There's a game that comes to mind, and I'm sure many of you remember it. We played Bournemouth at home. It was in the days of Zlatan. And I think Zlatan missed an absolute sitter in the first 5 minutes. And you're like, oh, there'll be loads more chances. And you know what happened? We ended up drawing. And you remember that chance and you go, oh, if we'd have just scored that in the first 5 minutes, it's a completely different game. And you're right to be a little bit frustrated that Anthony didn't play Martial in, because ultimately that, you know, you get that early goal, it's a different game, isn't it? So that's why people get frustrated about it. Some people will go, oh, there's plenty to go, plenty of time to come, and there is, but you've got to take your chances. The free kick is caught by the goalkeeper. Some people said it was a good shot, but when a keeper is catching it, it wasn't a good shot. I mean, it's straight at the keeper and he catches it. It's on target, but yeah, no trouble. You saw how ESPN rated Casemiro a C+ signing and Darwin Nunez a B-, says Louis. Well, Casemiro for me, another long shot, this time from Ericsson. I tell you what, can I just put my hand up, please, sir? I'm fed up of these long shots. I'm absolutely fed up of them. I'm absolutely fed up of it. I can't believe my eyes. I can't believe how often we're shooting from outside the box. Are we just long shot FC? That's what people are saying in the chat. Has Ten Hag got no confidence in these players being able to actually create a chance? I mean, he's one of the best coaches in Europe at possession and chance creation, and he's got no confidence in telling these players to stop shooting from distance and actually try and pass the ball. I don't get it. United has a limit on 74,000 supporters. Wondered if anyone told the board, says Valiant. Another corner to Wolves. Adam Butler, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much for joining. Crap corner from Wolves. Our possession-based football is good as our away record. We're just dependent on some miracle. Consistent level, same things going on post-Fergie, says Sabatashi. Wouldn't be too bad if these were shots actually on target. They're all miles off mark, says Aaron. Sancho in the box, lays it off. Martial. At least that was a pass. At least that was a pass into the box to the striker. I mean, I almost want to applaud that. Sancho again. Cross. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. The cross comes in. I think it comes in from Luke Shaw. And Anthony gets it on his head, level with the 6-yard box. I'm sorry. I like the lad. But it's a lovely cross by Luke Shaw. Oh my God. I can't believe it. He's headed it over the bar from 6 yards out. When he's not even... It's the ball's level with his fucking forehead. That's a shocking miss. That's terrible. It's an absolute howler, says Dax. It's an absolute sitter. That is incredible. The cross is perfect. You know, like sometimes you've got to jump to head it. It's literally level with him. The cross from Luke Shaw is delightful. You know the way he can just whip it in his stride. Dead centre, 6 yard, on his head. He heads it over. Red Smurf says, as much as we're frustrated with the long shots, it could be Erik ten Hag's instructions to shoot. I can't understand why it would be, but it hasn't stopped. Exactly. You've got to look at it like that. It's actually baffling how they're shooting, playing like individuals who want to show, well, at least I'm trying kind of thing, says Official Moxie. What the hell, says Pat. I mean, that is a miss of massive proportions from Anthony there. I mean, you can't say that we haven't had the chances to be leading after half an hour. I just hope it's not going to be one of those days, because we can't afford it. The only logical issue is use the sun to blind the goalkeeper, says David. I would hope that's not a tactic. Eriksen, Sancho, nice by Bruno, back to Sancho, into Bruno, into Anthony, he's one-on-one, he's passed it! Tony, get in! 1-0 to Manchester United, that's what you do it! That's how you do it! Izzy Wizzy, let's get busy, that's the way to do it! Pass the bloody ball, he didn't shoot, he passed it to Martial, a fantastic passing movement, and United... Anthony Martial does that to the crowd. Get it. You know I'm a big fan of Martial anyway. That was fantastic. That we finally passed the ball and we win what we're scoring 1-0. And we finally, when we finally start passing, It's a lovely goal. Great goal. Great goal. Really great team goal. And this is what I mean about shooting from distance. The game's so easy. This goal is so easy because everybody plays the right pass. Sancho to Bruno to Anthony to Martial. They're easy passes. Every pass is simple. And we score. It's just so simple, and it's such a big goal. And that's what we want from Anthony. And that's what we want from Martial. And that's what we've been moaning about for 2.5 games. This ridiculous obsession with shooting. Pass the bloody ball. Those got beautiful football, says Sam. I love those sort of goals. It's a tap-in, but I love it. I love that sort of goal. Finally, it's so obvious, lads. Pass the ball, says Lee. We love that. I've got goosebumps from that. It was a lovely goal. And it's the front. Everybody in the front four is involved as well. Sancho, Bruno, Anthony, Martial. What a fan! That's what you want from your front four. Pass, 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 pass. Lovely to see. Lovely to see. Absolutely fantastic. Really pleased with it. And also, it's a first half goal. You know, it gives us something to build on. Wolves don't score many goals. Let's go and get another one as well. And I'm really pleased for Martial because he gets loads of shit. And I don't agree with most of it, to be honest with you. Bruno's playing well. It was Goldbridge ball. We need to get that Goldbridge ball back out again, don't we, really? Riddler says, those are the best goals because you completely break down the defence for the best chance. Yeah. Pass FC. Pass FC is better than long shot FC every time. But, you know, we as fans and the manager has got to massively praise that goal and, you know, almost overhype it to make them go, oh, look at the praise I get for that. Look at the praise I get for that. We want to encourage that type of behaviour. And we spoke about it before the game. Whatever you say about Sancho, Sancho is not a selfish player. So straight away in your front four, and Martial's not a selfish player, so you've got two of your front four who aren't selfish, and it can lead to those sort of things. And if you remember against Sevilla before the Varane injury, we played some bloody brilliant football in the first half an hour. Just second half it went wrong. Surprise to what prize? Wingers should cross and pass. Sancho crosses, creates a clear chance. Anthony passes, we score. They just need to do this. Why don't the managers emphasise this? Says KC. When he finally passed, you can hear Martin Tyler saying, oh yes, says Dan V. Well, the relief is there in the chat, I can see it, and we definitely needed it. Table at the moment has Man United joint third with 66 points, puts us 4 points ahead of Liverpool, and we played the same game, so it's so important that we win, especially if they got to go to Leicester on Monday night. Izzy Wizzy, let's get busy. We want the second goal as well. Dead says it's Wolves. Don't care. Casemiro's just got booked. John, thank you very much. I think it is a yellow card for Casemiro because well, maybe it's not. I think Lindelof's about to win. He's overrun the ball. I don't know. Yeah. Can't afford to lose. I mean, this is one of the problems we've got next season. Casemiro, not as a player, but he's the only defensive midfielder we've got. He's always getting booked because he's the only one who can put the tackle in. Eriksen could have fouled him before that, and probably should have done. The referees are out for him anyway, says Jason. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. We're only 100 subscribers away from 648,000. Get involved with the United Stand. Subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. 10 times better without Rashford, says Jack. A team who can read each other's minds versus a team with infinite stamina. Who wins, says Stockton. Well, I think the technical team wins because you can just pass it around. Marvin says Eriksen was too weak there. I think Eriksen's got to take the foul early. That's what Man City do. If you take the foul early, that wouldn't have been a yellow. I don't think it's a yellow card for Casemiro when you see what Costa got a yellow card for. I mean, Costa's tackle was an assault. JKS, I'm not reading your chat. It's a load of shit, mate. It's got nothing to do with the game either. Tony just needs to step up if he wants to stay, says Oran. He needs to stay fit, Oran, for a start. I mean, I don't think anybody's even ready to have the Martial debate unless he's going to stay fit. That's going to be his problem. Yeah. Well, I'm sure we'll let them have a little bit of the ball now. But we don't want to get too complacent. We've got 1-0. We're not third because we haven't got a better goal difference. Sancho's our only passing winger, says John. Thank you very much, John. United attacking history built on creative wingers, says Umzil. Yeah. Goal kick to United. A lot of people noticing that Ollie is in the crowd, which we knew anyway. Gifted memberships from Warrior. Thank you very much for that. I think it's important that Solskjaer does come back. You know, Jose would never come back, would he? Van Gaal would never come back. But for Solskjaer, his future has to be United because it's not going to be in management, is it? So if Liverpool drop points on Monday, we can relax again, says Dan. And probably we win this as it's at home, says Ryan. Let's not count our chickens here. Let's not count our chickens. Could turn into a KFC. What do you think of Ahmad for next season, Oran? I've got no interest, mate. I've been asked this 3 times today already. I've got no interest in it because I'm just interested in what's going to happen with the sale and whether we're going to get top 4. I'm excited for Ahmad, but that's pre-season. There's so much that's going to happen and needs to happen before then. Crystal Palace are winning 1-0 against Bournemouth. It's that guy, Eze, again. What a run he's been on since Roy Hodgson came in. But it's 1-0 to them at the moment. Thoughts on Ollie about Glazers and Haaland, says Umzil. Mark Sancho's still not doing enough for me, says Marcus. And Martial Deadwood, 0.32 per game, not good enough, says Damo. Some people just always have to go finding negatives, don't they? I think some people just are terminally negative. All I care about is winning this game. I couldn't give a shit about goals per game or anything like that. We don't even know who our next owners are going to be. I'm ridiculously locked into short-termism at the moment because it's the only thing we can be. I've got no confidence about the future of Manchester United because I don't know what's going to happen in the summer transfer window. I don't know who the sale's going to be. All I'm focused on at the moment is winning this game and getting back in the Champions League, even if it's just for a season. I don't want to play Thursday night football. One thing I've noticed is we don't win or anticipate enough second balls, says Sumajit. And what would a loss in top four mean for the Glazers, Mark? Does this give them reminders for full sale? No, CGI. No, I don't think European football, Europa or Champions League has any bearing on the sale at all. Another corner for Manchester United. Keeper just had to tip on a Lindelof header just over the bar. Liam says the Wolves kit is minging. You know what? I don't know whether this will be received very well. I like the player Eriksen, but I do think if you replaced Eriksen in the United side with Caicedo, and you played Caicedo and Casemiro, or De Jong and Casemiro, this team would go up levels. Great tackle by Luke Shaw there. Surah wants to know who the most attractive player in the squad is. I can't answer that because I don't find men attractive. So I just don't. If you do, well done. But I can't rank men on looks. I don't know. I've just got no idea. But brilliant tackle by Luke Shaw, says Sean King. And yeah, I do think that's a fancy. I think that's a massively. I think we'd be. I think I like Eriksen, but I think if you put a player next to Casemiro like De Jong or Caicedo, even Declan Rice, I think there'd be a huge improvement in the team because he just doesn't do any defensive work. Ollie speaks on Glazers, says Umzo. We need the Pied Piper to lure the rat and throw him off the cliff, says Varron. Ollie blasted club with last comments. Haaland 4 million, says Eric. Villa are smoking Spurs. Well, it's 1-0. So it's not really smoking. The attack has cost us so many games this season, yet people still desperate for a new goalie. Very strange priority, says Graham. Well, can I just remind people as well that Man United have only conceded 8 goals at home this season. 8 goals at home this season. And this is our 16th game. Although Wolves are on the attack now. That would have been horrible if they'd scored. Mark, I have a dream. Declan Rice and Casemiro with Bruno, says Gwydion. We're nearly at half-time. I'm just going to have a quick toilet break. And then we'll talk about half-time, hopefully, with a 1-0 lead. Sold my car, we buy any car. Could have been 2-0 there. Could have been 2-0 there. United were in a good position. Why didn't he pass? Back to those mistakes again. I mean, the thing is, like, we're going to be 1-0 up at half-time here, but we really could have been 2-0 up. We've had the chances. I mean, we passed one of them quite well, but Again, we get put in that situation. Could have been 2-0. A lot of people talking about it in the chat. Absolutely right. Genuinely like Ericsson, but a midfielder is needed after a striker this summer, without doubt. I like Barella and Marino, says Axel of War. Thank you very much. Well, yeah, I think that could have been 2-0. And here's Ericsson. Can't bring on McTominay, mate. He's not there. Is it a coincidence that Qatar approached club legends and then Ollie has a dig at Sir Jim in an interview and turns up at Old Trafford, says Jimmy Garner? I'd be a bit worried if Qatar were approaching Ole Gunnar Solskjaer for a position at the club. He's already had one. Bruno's shot way over. Way over. I think the referee's blown up. Wasteful is what I would say. The problem is really that we're winning 1-0, but Ten Hag will probably be saying we should have this game put to bed. Really, we've been comfortably the better side. Have we done enough to win it? Yeah. The one time we actually, did what we need to do. And it's not there. I'm just trying to get the stats up here. Let's have a look where they are. Okay, there we go. So, there we go. Half-time. Manchester United 1-0 at half-time. Let me just stop the clock as well. After there. 1-0 to Manchester United at half-time. I take the positive. It was a very, very good goal. They're the sort of goals we want to see. Lovely passing move. Ends up with an easy finish. I think the problem is we've done that once. There's probably been 4 or 5 other times where if we'd done what we did on the goal, we'd be 2 or 3-0 up. I don't know what it is. We can score these really good team goals, but a lot of players still have it in their head to not pass the simple pass. It's weird. Afternoon, Mark. Anthony should have played Sancho with his right. I don't understand why he always cuts back onto his left, says Subby. We need the front three to be better. They have been making dreadful passes in the final third, says Louis, and we should be at least 3-0 up. Indecisions and poor passing. You know what? If we were doing half-time player ratings, which we can do, I'd probably give Anthony a 5. And that's, I really like Anthony, but I'd probably give him a 5, even though he's got an assist, because I think he's had the chances to make it 3-0. He's been very, very wasteful. And he could have been involved in 4 goals this summer. I think that's right. So, yeah, 100%. I think he could have done more. Referee bias against Casemiro is terrible, says Avanash. And Anthony's decision-making in the final third has been terrible, says Arman. I mean, look, I don't like to individualise it against one player, but I really do think that Anthony's been the letdown in the team so far. The defence has done good, midfield's been okay, and the front four, really, with better decision-making, you'd be 2-0 up and coasting to 3 massive points. With it only being 1-0, it just, you've got to keep that clean sheet. Interestingly, the possession has been about 50-50, but look at the shots. 16 shots to 1. 4 on target to 0. What does that say to you? That says to me that it shouldn't be 1-0. That says to me that we've been ridiculously wasteful. Some of those shots have been stupid, though. You can up your shot stats by shooting from stupid areas, and we've definitely done that. But 1-0 is ridiculous when you look at how much we've been in and around their penalty box. We don't have an abundance of quality on the bench to change things, but we do have Garnacho, as a lot of people are talking on the bench, and I'd certainly be dangling that opportunity in the dressing room. I mean, the first thing I would say at half time, if I was Eric Ten Hag, is look, we're 1-0 up, we need the 3 points, and that game should be over at half time. Why are we not playing the simple pass? You play the simple pass, you score the goal. What a goal, by the way. Fantastic. I'm over the moon with it. It's brilliant. But it's sandwiched in between passes that weren't made before the goal and passes have not been played after the goal that would have put us with at least a 2-goal barrier, a 2-goal buffer. I need to see that. Martial should have a brace. Anthony's been wasteful, says John. Hi, Mark, says Lawrence. I'm from Sierra Leone. Love your videos. And can you wish my best mate, Alexander, a happy birthday and call him a prat? Happy birthday to Alexander. When he finally passed, you can hear Martin Tyler yelling, oh, yes, says Dan V. I don't know why he's there. Anyway. Finn says, I don't think Anthony's been bad. I'm a massive fan of Anthony. You know, I was really excited about signing Anthony, and I really do like Anthony, but he's just got this ridiculously selfish streak in him at the moment. And I think that's absolutely fine, but your job is not to score 20 goals. I'd rather you assisted 20 goals. We are going to spend money on a striker this summer. You know, it's absolutely logical that you are going to have to learn to pass. It's just, look, I don't mind Rashford thinking I'm going to shoot every time because Rashford's a winger who's a striker. But Anthony has got to be the guy that creates. And he's got to get that in his head. If I'm Eric Ten Hag, I've got to get it into his head that pass has to be your first thought, not shoot. Who's played better, Sancho or Anthony, says Y. Look, I think Sancho's half has been a bit of a mixed bag, but the one thing about Jadon Sancho is he always does look to pass, whereas Anthony doesn't. Mikael says it's a decent performance, but we're still shooting too much. I don't really think the performance is that important to us, you know? I really don't. I think if we could all end this now and take a 1-0 win, we would do. Our goal difference is crap no matter what. It's about wins. Anthony to Anthony could have been 3-0 already, says Amir. Do you think Todd is trying to get Chelsea to finish as low as possible so he has a better draft pick for his teams? Says Chris. I can't believe Forest are beating Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. What a win that would be. Do you think that the long shots are instructions from Ten Hag? Says Salim. I think he has to be aware of it. He has to be aware of it. I think it has to be coming from the coaching setup, really. Which is why I said, can anybody give me a logical reason why you'd do that? John says the team needs to work on keeping possession. The team needs a good poacher striker that can make accurate strikes and get more goals. But where's the service, John? Another booking for Casemiro. Seems he can't cover the ground like he once did. 32 next season, and we gave him a 5-year deal, says Ben. At a loss with Sancho at this point, I can't wrap my head around the drop-off since Dortmund, says Nick. And what's the point of getting Osman if whoever the best striker is, if Anthony isn't going to pass or others shoot randomly, says Sachin. Well, look, you know, in relation to Sancho, I don't want to just talk about Anthony and not talk about Sancho because that would be unbalanced. I think that the way I see things developing at Manchester United, and I would imagine some of you will agree with me on this, the way I see things developing at Manchester United is that next season you will have Anthony on the right and you'll have Rashford on the left. They're definitely going to be here. You need 2 players in each position. Garnacho off the left and Ahmad off the right. That's how I see it next year. So where's Sancho in this game? He will still be here. So, you know, I wouldn't say the fan base is 100% convinced by Anthony or Rashford in different ways. They're certainly not convinced by Sancho. And then you've got Garnacho and Ahmad, who are developmental players still. We need some consistency on that wing. There's a real opportunity to become something very special at Man United on that wing for somebody. But consistency is the thing we're struggling with. A positive on Anthony is that he's always getting into impactful positions, similar to Nunez. He could become a beast. Yeah, I think that's a great comment by Fozzie as well. I really do. You know, I've said this about Nunez myself. I think he will become a very good striker because he's a chance magnet. And I think that Anthony, if you look at Anthony in that first half, he should have passed to Martial in the first 5 minutes and he shot. He had the header, which he should have scored. I mean, that chance won't get spoken about, but it was a sitter. There was another 2 chances he could have played passes in for goals, and then there was the assist itself. Really, if Anthony had been super efficient today, he'd have had a goal and 2 assists. I think he should have done. What's the point of getting Osman or whoever the best striker is? Anthony isn't going to pass, says Sakin. And maybe Sancho needs a proper number 9 that can help him thrive on the flank, says Mud. Yeah, but I don't think we can make too many excuses. I think these players do need to start delivering more. Warrior, thank you very much for the super chat. But look, overall, after the last 2 games where we've dropped points, we've lost 2 games. I'm pretty pleased with that first half performance, and I'd be very happy if it finished 1-0. So really, it's about, maintaining that. Wolves are not a team that score many goals, and the opportunity is there to go and get 3 points, and that's what we need to do. Can I just give a shout out to our sponsor today? Really pleased that it's Sneak. If you watch me play FIFA on Twitch, you'll know that Sneak's sponsor is on there. So it's great to have them over on a watch along. What is Sneak? It's sugar-free, low-calorie energy drinks. You can get one of these and 9 different flavours to try as part of the starter pack, or you can go straight for your 40 serving tubs like that come in the tube. Put a scoop in, water, shake it all about. You've got a fantastic energy drink delivered to your door. I'm on Sneak Hydrate today. The Hydrate flavours don't have any caffeine in, so it's still an energy drink, but there's no caffeine. There's no sugar, and they're low calorie anyway, but you can get caffeine-free ones as well. Tastes just the same. Love it. Cherry bomb for me today. You got to pump it up. Mark, can I shout out to Salford, who play Stockport in league playoffs today, says Warrior. Yeah, well, look, I don't know how people think about that, but, I've got to be honest, I think they stopped doing it, but I used to really like the Class of 92 series on BBC about Salford, and it's an interesting story, and I don't really have any attachment to Stockport, so yeah, good luck to Salford tonight. I know a couple of people there, and I want them to do well, so yeah, hopefully they can get a result tonight. Gary Neville might hate me, but that's not reciprocal, so I hope they do well. Can you shout out my mate Ben and call him a prat, says Rahul. Shout out to Ben. High-level decision-making in the final third is sorely lacking. That's why the likes of Anthony, Rashford and Sancho won't take United forward long-term, says Kenneth. And are we trying to get second chances with these 30-yard shots? Why any of our players are closer to the box, and why can't we shoot on target? It's very frustrating, says Mario Franco. Mark, did you know that we've never lost a home game in the league, which we've led at half-time? It's a 320-game record, says L1. Yeah, but that doesn't mean anything, because you're just saying we've never lost from this position. I bet we've drawn. We need to win this second half. It hurts to see Rooney always praising City or Liverpool, says Glazers out. I don't know what Wayne's problem is. For some reason, he seems to have a bit of a problem with Man United. He always seems to want to say the controversial thing, and I don't really get it with Rooney. You are a legend of this club. You're our all-time goal-scoring record, but he just seems to have a bit of an uncomfortable relationship with Manchester United, doesn't he? And I don't really get it. I don't really get it at all, really. But I don't know. I don't get it. He does come out with maybe just comes out with stupid takes, but yeah, like the stuff he says about the Glazers and stuff as well. I don't get it. Hi Mark, let's get the win. Can't wait to see United on tour in New York. My first time to see United live. Dreams do come true, says Tapilla. And Anthony excites me more than selfish Rashford and never disappears in a game. Anthony is the winger that gets us off our seats. DNA to play the United way, says Safe. Look, whatever we say about Anthony, I was very excited when we were trying to buy him last year. And I think the most important thing to say is Jack Grealish. Jack Grealish in his first year at City, and he'd played in the Premier League for years with Villa. His first season at City looked very underwhelming. Anthony's had a better first season at United than Grealish had at City. And look at Grealish this year. So I think it does. I think players do need a couple of years, and I think next season for Anthony is really important. Maybe he's over eager to please. Maybe sometimes he gets in a position where he shoots because he wants to impress. Maybe next year he'll be more happy and content in his place and realise that, playing a pass will be appreciated. Some players are like that. They don't pass because they think they've got to impress, let's score. But actually this fan base will always appreciate the pass. Somebody can finish it, but we'll always look at how the goal was built. And he made the right pass to Martial on the goal, and fair play. Hi Mark, let's get the win. I've done that from Tap. Hello Mark, I'm currently watching the National League final. Weghorst would not look out of place, says Marcus. And Sancho struggles in the attack when our players are static. He's great at threading a pass. Doesn't help that Eriksen doesn't make runs into the box, says Joshua. Is it just me or does Martial look super slow? He seems like he's lost a ton of pace, says Raymond. Could be the injuries, mate. Could be the injuries. Mark, doesn't Ollie being at Old Trafford today remind you of ex-husband being invited round for lunch by his ex? Says Laser. Yeah. You're probably right. Yeah. I was going to look at something there and I can't find it. Sorry, I've got quiet as well. Look, Antonio Valencia's at the ground as well. He's not getting as much love as Ollie. But main thing is to get the result here. That's what we need. Get the result. Get the 3 points. Get that gap over Liverpool. I didn't show you that, did I? So that's how the league table looks at the moment. The players are just coming out. That's how it looks at the moment. As it stands, if we get the results, we've got 66 points. We're 4 points clear of Liverpool with 3 games to go for both of us. That's a bottle job if you give that up, but you've got to get this result here. It's there. It's there. It's right in front of us. Let's go get it. Let's go and get it. We should keep Sancho. If he's trained, he can be better than Grealish as Glazer's out. And thank you very much for your super chats. You can do that through the $sign. And also, please do subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. I don't know whether we've hit 648,000 yet. But can you... Wait a minute. Let me just get this timer. Can you wish Stockport good luck in the final playoffs? And don't listen to Salford tossers, says G. Well, to be honest, Stockport is... in and around Manchester anyway, isn't it? So there might be people that prefer Stockport over Salford. So, look, I'm going to be live on TalkSport at 7:30 till 9 o'clock, and I'm pretty sure we'll have updates coming in from that game anyway because it kicks off at 7:30. Anthony's the only one trying. He will assist again, says Neg. He-Chan has come on for Wolves. Sancho scoring next, says Nanda. And we're up and running for the second half. My score prediction was 2-0. So I just hope we can. I just hope we can get that second goal. Mark, what do you think of Santiago Jimenez from Feyenoord? Says Ruben. A few people have mentioned him. I've never heard United being in for him. It's the same as Sangari at PSV. I've never heard United being in for him. Southampton have scored against Fulham. Let's get the stats carousel going round. We've got a goal down at the coast. It's Southampton who've scored at home to Fulham. Wolves are on the attack here. Let's just wait and see. No subs for Manchester United. Be nice to get a clean sheet, you know. Oh, I think it's been ruled out at Fulham. Offside. Or has it? I don't know. Anyway, we're not doing a goal show. We're doing a United show here. Notts County are losing 1-0 in the playoff final. Be a shame if they don't get promoted. 107 points. And you don't get promoted. Greg Murphy says, my palace said today he would stop supporting Man United if Qatar bought them. What do you think of this? His name is Gary, says Greg. Up to Gary. Like I said, I don't have a problem with people if they want Sir Jim or they want Qatar. I mean, that's the whole point of people having different opinions, isn't it? But, you know, everyone's got their reasons. Some people like the One Show. I can't stand it. Chesterfield, that's who Notts County play. I want Notts County to win. Have you seen the new Juventus kit, by the way? Oh, with the yellow in. That's Notts County colours. Black and white stripes with a bit of yellow. Anthony again. Anthony again. Could have passed it to Ericsson. He shoots. It should have been... I don't like to... I don't like to be ultra critical here, but the pass was on to Ericsson and he went for a shot again. Make a poll. You should do Southampton stand instead, says Faroe Islands. Mark, I think I might have to start drinking early if United bottle this, says J. Dot. We just need to get the second goal. And we should have had the second goal by now. But we're attacking the we're attacking the Stretford end here. The Wrexham stand is starting on the 1st of August. People don't know whether I'm joking. Any advice for exams, Mark, says Drew? Yeah, just watch film. You know, like they let you finish to study. Just watch films and play FIFA. And I just think just go in there and try your best. You know. No, study. United to get top 4, Leeds to be relegated and Qatar in. I don't think I'm asking for too much, says Daniel. A lot of people saying Sancho's been worse than Anthony. Pratt, Richard Arnold in the crowd, says Phil. They're all. Let's be honest, they're all keeping their job if the Glazers stay, aren't they? Mark, I'm a dedicated Muslim, but I might down a bottle if United bottle took 4, says Tia. Well, no, don't do that. Sancho into Martial, into the box. Nice touch to Eriksen. And fucking hell, surprise to fucking prize. What does he do? Shoot when there was a pass. I can't deal with this anymore. It's doing my head in. I can't believe the amount of shots people take on. Eriksen gets the ball on the edge of the box. There's a player right in front of him. He could have just laid it off. He could have laid it off. And he shoots. United BT says the shot was on, just complaining for no reason. Maybe you've never played the game, mate, but the shot wasn't on when there's a player right in front of you and there's a pass literally 2 metres to your right. It's like playing rugby. Somebody's running towards you and there's somebody to your right, you draw the pass and then you just flip it like that. It wasn't on. Could you wish my girlfriend a happy birthday, says Mohammed. And Deepal, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much for joining. Stats FC, drive me nuts, says James. Wolves haven't looked like scoring, I admit, but it only takes one goal to score. It only takes one chance to score. Angus Deaton in front of Antonio Valencia. If you know, you know. Daniel Maloney. Who's Angus Deaton? He used to present Have I Got News For You? And then he sort of got involved in a sex scandal. And hasn't really been on the telly since. But is a Man United fan. What's your opinion on crumpets? Oh, I love them. I haven't had one for ages, but... yeah... at least Anthony tracks back. Sancho loses the ball and gives up every time. Don't enjoy the constant hate. His defensive work next level, says Jonathan. I don't think anybody. I don't hate Anthony. I'm a big fan of Anthony, but I can the same way I can say De Gea has a bad game. I can say it about anybody. You know. Why is Maguire warming up, says Michael. Yeah, that worries me. Maybe Varane was only ever playing an hour. Luke, I know that Notts County gave Juventus a football kit and that's why they wear black and white. That's why I like Juventus. What is Sancho? This is Tarand. I don't know. Apparently Chelsea have equalised. They have equalised, and it was a goal for Fulham at Southampton. The goal was scored by... I don't know who scored for Fulham. Carlos Vinicius. The Chelsea goal was scored by Gallagher, I'm going to guess. Sterling. That would be I'd be very surprised if Forest were to win. Lampard would miss a doctor's appointment because he's sick. Get him out of my club, says Jack. I've never been to Grimsby, the Last Supper, no. Ericsson weak in the tackle there. Could you say happy birthday, please, says Mohammed. Happy birthday to Mad, sorry. There you go. That was from Mohammed. Good to see the defensive high fives back. They've been missing for a while. I bet they probably do nice fish and chips at Grimsby, actually, I would imagine. Anyway, corner to Wolves. I'm not... You know what? I like the player. I like the player, but... You know who I'm not happy with today? Ericsson. I think he's just not the same as he was before his injury. I think he's too physically weak in that midfield, and I just don't think he's been the same since he came back. Sabitza's injured, Joe. Lee says Grimsby's awful. People go shopping in their dressing gowns. Oh, I'm not going there then. I don't want to mix with that sort. Yeah. They probably take their kids to school in their pyjamas, don't they, as well? Not their kids, but like parents going walking the slippers. Ericsson's gassed out for the season, says Abdul. Would you sell Ericsson? No, I think he becomes a good bench option next season, to be honest with you, and a good rotational player. But I don't think he should be starting games if we bring in the right player. Sancho has the most key passes this game so far, says Jack. Thanks, Jack. I feel Wolves are coming into this a little bit more. I mean, they're always going to. They're going to have a go, aren't they? They're 1-0 up. I mean, if I was Lopetegui, I'd be saying, let's have a go, because we should be. They should be out of sight. They should be out of sight already. So let's have a bit of a go. Mark does YouTube in his pyjamas, says Bob. It's so ironic. Yeah, but I don't go down the bloody shops in my pyjamas, do they? Do I? Look at that strength. Look at that. That's just my arms holding myself up. Who will wear the 7 and 11 tops, says Umzel. Couldn't give less of a fuck, if I'm being honest. Absolutely couldn't give a toss about who's going to wear the number 7 shirt or the 11. I know it matters to some people, but it absolutely, I don't care. I've got no interest in it at all. All I'm bothered about is who's going to buy the club, and are we going to get top 4, and who we're going to sign in the summer. They're my 3 priorities. I can't have any more. Corner comes in, they've messed that up. And it was a corner for Wolves, by the way. What subs would you make to make things change, says Steve? I mean, Fred for Ericsson, but Fred's like that, innit? You never know what you're going to get with Fred. So Fred for Ericsson might make a bit of sense. attacking. I don't want to make anything defensively. Maybe Varane will come off for Maguire because he can only play an hour. Maybe Martial will come off for Weghorst because he can only play 70 minutes. I mean, ultimately, our subs can only make us weaker, and we're only 1-0 up. So that's what I'm nervous about at the moment. You know, the subs that we can make us weaker. Lovely ball out by Lindelof there to beat the press. This got to do something with this, surely. Nice ball into Anthony again. Please don't shoot. Into Bruno. Back into Anthony. He's going to shoot. And it goes wide. Would you bring Pellistri on for Anthony? Well, I mean, he wasn't far off with that shot. It wasn't that far away. And he won a corner from it. Chelsea are winning 2-1. Bad result for Forest, that. Southampton officially relegated, says Aziz. Well, they will be, yeah. I just feel with half an hour to go, there's a sting in the tail of this game, isn't there? It just feels like Wolves are making subs. Brilliant play by Varane at the back there. Absolutely fantastic by Varane. He's been brilliant today. But you just feel like there might be a sting in the tail, because we've had the chances to put this game out of Wolves' reach. And if we've got to make the subs that we expect and they become more attacking, could become a problem. Although we're on the break here. Oh, referee. He's not going to give a foul. How's he not giving a foul for that on Bruno? Bruno's down. It looked like a foul to me. Referee has said play on. I'm stunned. Absolutely stunned. It had to be a foul, surely. Wow, maybe he gets a little bit of the ball, I don't know. But it's reckless. It's definitely reckless. If he gets any of the ball, he clips the littlest bit. It's not a legitimate tackle, that's certainly. We don't need to lose. We don't want to be losing Bruno. Um, 2-1 to Chelsea. Yeah. Terrible refereeing. Well, if he did touch the ball, it was the faintest of touches. It was such an obvious foul. To not give it is quite incredible, really. But yeah, if it was Casemiro, he probably would have got a red. We're only 100 subscribers away from 648,000. Please do subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner if you haven't done it. It's free to do it. Get involved with the United Stand. We're live every night at 8 o'clock, every morning at 10 o'clock. And obviously there's a lot of big news coming up around United over the next days and weeks. So if you want to get involved in the chat, make sure you subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. Get Garnacho on, says Pre. Guess who the fourth official is? Andre Mariner. Oh, it's 2-2 between Chelsea and Forest now. Forest have just equalised. I've come back from a nice, calm, refreshing walk to stress and emotion, but that's the Premier League, says Mohammed. Do you think it's time to sell Sancho, says Raz? Not specifically now, Raz. Daniel Maloney, welcome to the Members Club. I am a bit worried about the subs. There's only really 2 subs that won't stress me out. That's Garnacho and Fred. Hi Mark, who will miss out on top 4? Man United, Newcastle or Liverpool, says Jack. Well, it's getting very interesting with Newcastle dropping points. If United can win, but then if we draw, that massively opens the door. 63 minutes. I'm getting a bit panicky here. Have the Qataris bid again, says Abdul. Oh yeah, they did it on the hour mark on the pitch. He walked down the touchline and handed it to Richard Arnold. Should Ten Hag get anyone from relegated clubs, says Bronzy. Don't care. I love you, Mark, but not as much as United, says Raz. Do you know why they sing Take Me Home, says J Dots. And Garnacho for Eriksen. Bruno drops into midfield. Sancho through the middle, says Luke. Thank you very much. Am I nervous about Liverpool? I'm not nervous about Liverpool specifically. I'm nervous about... well, you know, I don't want to be in the Europa League next year. It's rubbish. I hate the Europa League group stage. It's a massive waste of time. If I was Greenpeace, I'd be making complaints at the airport about Man United getting on a plane to go and play some European farmers. It's a waste of fuel. It's immoral. I do not want to be in the Europa League. I want to be in the Champions League. The Champions League's more glamorous. I want to be in the Champions League. That's where I want Man United to be. That's where we should be. I think it's disgusting how many years we haven't played in the Champions League this year. Can I just say as well, Bruno again shooting from a stupid angle. The shooting has been disgusting again today. I just don't know. I don't know why we do it. I don't know why we keep doing it. It has to be coming from the manager. Has to be coming from him. Imagine getting your Thursday nights back, though. It's a better... Yeah, just, you know... I had to give up playing five-a-side. Years ago, when all this Europa League stuff started. Rufus says, if this ends at 1-0, it's only because Wolves don't know how to attack. We'll get punished by other teams. Well, we've scored 1 goal in 2.5 games in the Premier League. Not another long shot, Bridge. I can't speak, says Neil. We've taken more stupid shots tonight than I did on my stag do. I'm getting stressed a bit now. Well, I'm not getting stressed. I'm getting a bit panicky. Does anyone listen? If we had a point for every time, you have to remind us that you're only interested in top form and takeover, says Marima. No, people don't listen. You're right. Veghorst could be coming on. The bad subs are going to happen at some point, and that's going to make me even more nervous. The bench is not that good. It's crazy every time Eriksen gets the ball, it goes backwards, which is the complete opposite reason we were excited to sign him, says Xavier. Look, Casemiro's not been the same player since the international break. Eriksen's not been the same player since injury. Nice play. Oh, Martial falls over again. Get longer studs on. What's wrong with his studs? Keeps falling over. Corner to United. Oh, he is coming on, Weghorst. Fucking hell. And here come the subs. This worries me. The drop-off begins. I mean, we've not got another game. We've not got another game in for a week. Surely Martial can play another fucking 20 minutes. There's no game for another week. We've had a week off. If Martial can only play 68 minutes after a week off and he's got all next week off as well, what's going on? Oh my God. Oh my God, they were nearly there. They were in here. This is all because Eriksen gave the ball away. Oh, I think we've got enough people back now. Bloody hell. De Gea was out of his goal. They were through one-on-one. They've messed it up. This is where we've declined every game, says Stephen. And Div says, hope you're well. Top 4 is something Ten Hag deserves for his efforts this season. Ten Hag showing his signs of playing his mates, says Amir. Well, Eriksen nearly caused a right fuck up there. Lost the ball and ended up with a one-on-one. And that Chan is quick. He ended up in a foot race with Wan-Bissaka and he would have been onside. De Gea sort of came out and put him off a little bit. Chan went down. Yeah, it was a dive. It was a dive. De Gea didn't touch him. But Eriksen lost the ball in a dangerous position. Why is Garnacho not on, says Damo. Down to 10 men now with Weghorst on, says someone in the chat there. He's just so slow and leggy, isn't he? Hi Mark, maybe you could ask Adam to question Ten Hag to why the team is playing selfish long shots. Interesting to know his answer, says Tanvir. Mark, enjoy watching all of your vids. Keep it up, says Jeremy Quinn. Southampton are relegated, says Mario G. It's 2-0 there to Fulham. We need to earn everything we get, deserve nothing, says Jack Jones. It has been a typically frustrating tie. Still 20 minutes to go. They caused fouls. Lots of people wanting Garnacho on. We're only 20 subscribers away from 648,000, so please click that button in the bottom right hand corner to subscribe. Wolves are getting more adventurous here. You feel that there will be a chance at some point for Wolves. You do feel that. Villa are 2-0 up. Weghorst needs to remove his invisible cloak, says Finn. Villa are 2-0 up against Spurs. You know what? In a way, we're very lucky that Wolves beat Villa and we beat Villa because they were on a hell of a run. And they've still got to play Liverpool, actually, so they could be quite useful. Douglas Luiz with the second goal for them. Just not scoring enough goals, this United side. Not scoring enough goals. If we bring Garnacho on with Weghorst, maybe their pace will cancel each other out. Take off Sancho, says Mott. Weghorst is like a really tall man who wandered onto the pitch in coincidentally the right clothes, says Gershon. Well, Luke Shaw's just tried to play a lovely pass into Anthony, but it's not worked. Great save by the keeper from Sancho, but there's no power on it. He should score. He should score. It's a good save. Get Sancho off. Absolutely nothing, says Mike David. Well, he's just had a very good chance. You know, I'm not even talking about the shots. Like, I'm talking about the passes that were simple that weren't played. We've had so many opportunities here. Mark, would you rather have... No, not answering that. And hi, Mark. A year later and I still watch the channel. Appreciate the honest, real commentary. A real legend. Anthony having a cracking game, says Mick. Team's been very frustrating today, says Algigi. Well... They've been very stressful today. It's been very uncomfortable today. Sorry, Jeremy Quinn. Some of them go through. Adama's still at Wolves. I forgot about that. But if Liverpool draw next game, top 4 hopes are high, says Valor. Don't start talking about that. We've still got 20 minutes to try and hold out here. And we're not actually killing this game off. We're really reliant on the clean sheet here. Because we don't look like we can get the second goal. Which we should have had all bloody game. This game should have been over at half time. Eriksen's free kick goes for a corner. He was crossing, not shooting. This game should have been over a very long time ago. We've got big problems at the moment with scoring goals at the wrong time of the season. I know... You know, I know Bournemouth and Fulham and Chelsea, they look winnable games, but we're so reliant on the defence again this season. You've got to keep the clean sheet and hope that you get the odd goal at the other end. 1 goal in our last nearly 3 Premier League games. It's not good enough. We've been in positions to score goals as well. But we cannot put the ball in the back of the net. Where are the subs, says Mumra. Get Mbappe on, says John. Neil Armstrong in his moon suit is quicker than Weghorst, said someone in the chat there. We only beat Villa 1-0 as well. So, yeah. 2 goals in our last 4 games. My mate didn't give me my 50p change because he said it's only 50p. I said it should be my decision to say to him to keep it. Who's right, says MB. Well, yeah, 50p is quite a lot. You can get something with 50p. The next sub in the next... Here, I'm going to predict something for you now. In the next 10 minutes... Harry Maguire comes on and we go to a back 5. Who wants a bit of that? I don't want a bit of that, but who wants to predict it? Next 10 minutes, Maguire will come on. Our forwards just stand still once the defence set up. Only full-backs run past the ball, hence we default to shooting from distance. It's not good, says Muko. Aye, Mark, it's my dad Mike's birthday. Can you wish him a happy birthday, says Cunnell. Happy birthday. Well, they're bringing on Jimenez now. I'll tell you what, Wolves have got a lot of striking options, haven't they? They bought that other guy as well, didn't they? What was his name? He was linked to us. I think he's been injured for most of the season. But they've got Costa, Cunha, Jimenez, and they bought that other guy, began with an S. What was his name? No, someone in the chat will know. What was his name? They bought not Cunha. They bought him at the start of the season. He was linked to us. Tall guy. To play bad and still win is the sign of champions, says Marcus. Oh yeah, we look like champions. Kaladzic. Yeah, that was it. Kaladzic. What's happened to him? Is he still injured? He's hardly played. No, Scamacca's at West Ham, large. What's happened to Guedes as well? I thought he was a really good sign. Yeah, what's happened to Guedes? Kaladzic tore his ACL on his debut and hasn't played since, says Matthew McFadden. Yeah. Guedes has gone on loan to Benfica. Amazing. I thought he was a good player. Mark, can I get a birthday shout out? I'm 48 today, says Corey. Happy birthday, pal. A lot of people having their birthday today. Lindelof is my man of the match. He's been a beast, says Steph. I think the defence has played well. I think the defence has played well today. I mean, I'd probably give De Gea a 6 because he's not had anything to do. Told ya, Maguire and Fred. What did I tell you? In the next 10 minutes, Harry Maguire's going to come on and we're going to park the bus. If the Glazers have 20% of Class B shares that are worth 10 votes and Jim has 50% of Class A shares only worth 1 vote, doesn't that mean the Glazers still have the most voting rights? Sean, I think people are talking about this too much. Is it Jim Radcliffe's not going to buy 50% and not have any voting rights, is he? Boring subs. I knew he was parking the bus. Just inviting the pressure, really. I'm panicking now. I'm panicking. Since Weghorst's come on, we've created nothing. And now we're bringing Maguire and Fred on to park the bus. It worries me with 10 minutes to go. Because this game should have been... Well, look at that. We've had 21 shots with 6 on target. They've not even had a shot on target. I'm panicking. Oh, Varane's coming off. You don't take Varane off with 10 minutes to go. Again, we've got a fucking week. What's 10 minutes? Oh, Jesus, I don't get it. Eric Ten Hag refused. He's got the captain's armband as well. Where did he get that from? Why is he getting the captain's armband with 10 minutes to go? He's not played for a month. Oh, Garnacho's coming on for Sancho. Eriksen is treble substitution. Eric Ten Hag refuses to let Garnacho go play for the national team, then refuses him to play. Well, he's on now, Caleb. How has he not learned any lessons this month? Stop inviting pressure where there isn't any beforehand. This mentality is how you concede to Stephen. Weghorst runs like he's towing a caravan, says Stephen Hayes. Well, we are potentially walking a tightrope here. The potential for this to go wrong concerns me. Although Casemiro's just had a shot, it's a good save and it's a corner. Mark, this is a tribute to Ollie in the stands, says Amir Khan. We've got a corner here, though. Could be a Maguire header. Could be a Maguire header coming up. You never know. I just want to get the win. Player ratings, I'm just going to put it in the video description for you. Mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average. It's been a funny old game. Bruno with the cross and Weghorst misses a header from 6 yards out because he's crap in the air. He's tall. My fucking God. That's worse than Anthony's. Dear, dear, dear. Dear, oh dear, dear, dear. The chances we've had to win this game. I tell you what, if we don't win this game, this is what's panicking me a little bit now. We should have won this game. What's your back four look like for the FA Cup, says mine to Mike. Personally, I'd like to see Shaw playing at left centre-back against Man City. Just for the balance. Yeah, links in the video description for player ratings. Mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average. It's been an intriguing game in many ways that feels like there's a sting in the tail. Wolves are having to open up a little bit, though. I mean, yeah, I'm just hoping there might be just something on the break here. Well, we got about 6 minutes plus added time. Mark, have you looked at the striker called Naveen? I don't know what that's all about. Lost John Moss when he retired last year, but his running still lives on through Barry Maguire, says Joshua Powerwater. Maguire and Veghorst, two tall, useless prats brought on in the last 10 critical minutes. Why, Marco? Why, says Gertchen. I don't really know. You've got to understand the fitness side of things. But I don't see why Varane can't play 10 more minutes when he's not going to have to play for another week. And we're a better, you're just disrupting the back four. Eric Ten Hag needs to be asked what's happened to passing the ball. God, do we know where that net is, says Pauline Brooks. Wolves can smell blood here, says Diego. Thankfully, Wolves aren't particularly great at scoring goals, so there's a good break on for Manchester United now. Though it's a 5v3. If we don't score from here, and we're not going to because Garnacho's just played a rubbish pass, we had a 5v3 there. 5v3, and we fucked it up. A better attacking team, we wouldn't have got away with this today. We're so far, we're lucky to play Wolves because they don't score many goals. Because this has been an absolute joke of a game in relation to creativity in the final third again. I thought with a week off we might have spent a bit of time working on it, but it's the same as Brighton and it's the same as West Ham. It's just this wastefulness in the final third. And if it wasn't for the back four, we'd be in trouble. We are playing soft up front and sometimes overthinking the attack, says Jeff. Oh, I said it before the game. I said it in the preview. Really, I don't really care about the performance. I just care about the 3 points. But it's very rare you get a game like this where you get away with missing all the opportunities 1-0. What do you think of the striker? I'm not Mazza. You can keep chucking all these names at me. I'm watching the last few minutes of my team trying to get top four. Fred's just won a good free kick here, surely, right on the edge of the box. Fred did well here, actually. Direct.com. City's going to toy with us, says Neg. Well, mate, if we play like this, like we have done in the last 3 games, we're going to struggle against anybody that's half decent. Unfortunately, this is a game to get 3 points in. You'd hope that we could do enough against Fulham. Maybe Bournemouth away, and that's your 9 points. Please subscribe to the channel, by the way. I don't know whether we hit 648k. Good free kick position here. Very, very close. Oh my God, we're only 5 subscribers away from 648,000. Please hit that subscribe button in the bottom right-hand corner and subscribe. You're all very welcome. Thanks for tuning in. Who will take the free kick? Surely Bruno. There's no Rashford on the pitch. There's no Eriksen on the pitch. It's the sort of position that if you had a Kevin De Bruyne, you should be... I wouldn't say you should be scoring from here, but it's dead centre. It's on that D bit outside the penalty box. The referee's got the wall back 10 yards. The goalkeeper's on one side of the goal. This is a little dink into the far corner over the bar. Fucking hell. Awful. Absolutely. From that distance, that's awful. We really need some shooting practice. It's been terrible. Absolutely terrible. Right, how long is he going to add on? Bruno, laid off. Anthony, good save, keeper. Another corner. I mean, some of the shots have been okay. I mean, I think Sancho's chance was a good save, and I think Anthony's chance here. I mean, it's the one thing I would say is, and a goalkeeper will say this: if you put it in an area where it can't be saved, it's a better shot. I still think we need to work on our shooting. 6 minutes added on. Their keeper's probably been their man of the match. I mean, look at how many shots we've had, though. 25 shots to 5. They still haven't had a shot on target all game. Why are we not putting the cross into the box when Maguire's on? Like, he actually can win a header. We're still not putting it into the box. So Maguire's come up for nothing. And Wolves have won it back. Remember, you can mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average, star for your man of the match on player ratings. We'll go through that on the match reaction. Then we've got the forum afterwards. Ricky will be on that. Lots to discuss. Umzil's talking about porn stars. Don't know why. Thanks everyone who's tuned in, by the way. We've got 5 more minutes to get through a game where Wolves haven't had a shot on target. And if they haven't had a shot on target, they can't score a goal. "25 shots, 7 on target. They've had 5, none on target." Maguire clears it. It's a hard watch again, says Scott. Sorry, Mark. Got a bit excited, says Umzil. I'll tell you what, if they equalise, I'm not doing TalkSport tonight. I can't be dealing with the calls. I can't be dealing with it. Foul on Luke Shaw. We'll take that. We'll take that every day of the week. We'll take that every day of the week. Man City is going to smash us, says James. I'm not thinking about Man City at the moment, mate. That FA Cup game, we're just going to have to be... We've got to get top 4 before. I couldn't give a toss about the Man City game. I know it's going to be on other people's minds, but Man City don't massively worry me at the moment. We've got to get top 4. I don't want to be in the Europa League again next year. The bottom line is we defend quite well, but we attack terribly. Blow the whistle, please, says Venkat. Well, there's still a few minutes to go here. Southampton have been relegated officially. I think they've been relegated for quite a while. Right, let's see if we can catch him on the break here. Nice ball into Bruno. Garnacho's onside and he's through 1-on-1. Go on, lad. Go on then. Still Garnacho. Get in. 2-0. That'll do at long last. Breathe. 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 The relief. The star boy, Garnacho. He's got his top off. I don't need to see all that. That's irrelevant to me. I'm just happy that the ball's in the back of the net. And we can breathe and relax into stoppage time. I predicted 2-0 as well. Perfect score, but I don't really care about that. It should have been 2-0 at half-time. It should have been 2-0 after 10 minutes of the second half. But to get the job done at the end, absolutely fantastic. We needed those 3 points. It's been a battle. It's probably been a predictable battle that we've contributed to ourselves. But ultimately, Wolves don't normally get beat by that many goals. Lovely pass by Bruno. Lovely run by Garnacho. Onside, through 1-on-1. That's the sort of football we want. I mean, both our goals today have been actually very easy on the eye. You want to see more of that. Architects has welcomed back Garnacho as well. Yeah, look, it's not been a vintage United performance, but it's been a vintage Manchester United result at this time of the season, because that's what matters. 66 points, 3 games to go. We need 6 from 3 to get to confirm Champions League football, but puts a bit of pressure on Liverpool now because there's that 4-point gap and they've got to go to Leicester on Monday night. All we can do is our job after 2 losses. Very important to get the win. Wonder Kid strikes again. Can you call Shannon a prat, says Dan. I tell you what, it's just that relief. It's that relief, isn't it? Absolute relief. And you can start saying now, well, Wolves didn't have a shot on goal, which is great. Bit of pushing and shoving here with Adama Traore, but we've got a little gem in Garnacho. Took it really well, Andrew, as well, didn't he? Took it really well. But I mentioned that, didn't I? I said when we brought... we made our subs and it was a little bit concerning, but the harsh reality is that Wolves had to go for it and there was always the chance to catch them on the break. Just found out United are playing Real in Houston, says Beryl. Yes, they announced it yesterday. Hope you're doing well. Garnacho, show him how it's done, says Enjoy Writing. 3 points is what counts, but honestly, we need to work on our attack. We always have these tight games and score on the break. It's been at least 3 years of this, says K-Flow. It is. It's almost like a movie you've seen so many times, isn't it? You get the one goal, the opposition have to open up a bit, and then you hope for the counter. But it's another clean sheet at home for Manchester United. 8 goals conceded at home this season in 16 games is unbelievable. We're the only team at home that's not conceded double figures. If you're searching for positives, yes, the attack needs to be better. We saw lots of wasted shots and opportunities today, but we still got 2 goals. But defensively, when you're getting that many clean sheets, you can be wasteful in front of goal. It was a fantastic defensive performance from Varane and Lindelof and Wan-Bissaka and Shaw. I mean, De Gea had nothing to do. Anyway, thanks everyone for watching. We're going to do the player ratings and match reaction. I'll see you over there in a minute. Make sure you subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. And don't forget, we've been sponsored by Sneak Energy. Get yours delivered to your door. Sugar-free, low-calorie energy drinks. Get one of those and 9 different sachets, flavours of your choice delivered to your door. Check it out. Thank you very much to Sneak. United had the energy, thank God, today, and we got the 3 points. I'll see you over on the match reaction in a minute.